Good evening, Trojan fans, and welcome out to Don Boniel Field here on the campus of Alexandria Senior High School, where it is time for high school baseball. Excited to be here with you. Had an earlier game out at Grace Christian, but this is the so-called subdivision series, and we are here. Have Alexandria against Menard tonight, and that makes for a special, I don't know if we're going to use this word treat, but we'll go with treat tonight as Nick Magnano joins us. He is the voice of Menard Baseball. Also joins me in the booth in high school football for the Trojans. So he said if you've ever seen one of those house divided things, then you just check and turn yours up. Make sure that your volume is up over here. That's what, or which one is he in?
He's three, but I'm not, can't hear me either. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, but y'all can't hear me.
No.
Okay.
I can hear you.
All right, well, there you have it. We'll check on that in just a minute. But, Nick, what brings you to this part of the subdivision, my man?
Well, somebody asked me to come, help them out and give the Menard side
You
of the
are sticking
Menard
with that
side
story
of
the entire
view.
time.
So,
Goodness.
So I just need to make sure that need to make sure that Coach Bachman's not seeing what hat I'm wearing
Give us
today.
the Eagles starting lineup while you're at it. KP's going to be with us here in just a moment, and we'll get going. But give us the Eagles starting lineup since you're used to doing that.
All right, lead off for your Holy Savior Menard, Reeves Scroggs playing shortstop. Austin Perry, your catcher, behind the plate.
Para, P-A-R-R-A.
P-A-R-R-A, that's correct. Peyton Procell, and of course Para and Procell are both freshmen. Para is going to be your number 3 batter and also plays first base. James Tishner is playing left field, and he's going to be in the cleanup spot. Yeah, Brevell is going to be your third baseman. He's going to be in number 5 slot. J.D. Shelton is going to be your right fielder tonight in the 6th slot. Cooper Sullivan's your DH. He's going to DH for Nico Ortiz, who's your starting second baseman. Austin Henry's your starting pitcher tonight, batting 8th. And Cutter Knowles, starting center fielder, batting 9th.
For your Trojans, at shortstop, number 1, Jackson Ross. At second base, number 26, Nate Oney, O-N-E-Y. At third base, number 17, Caden K.K. Eckstein. Designated hitter tonight is 15, Grayson Thibodeau. Out at first base, number 23, Jack Lee. Left fielder is number 5, Miguel Magallan. Right fielder is number 8, Matthew Crenshaw. Behind the dish, number 21, senior Braden Raschel. Center field, number 11, Jacob Dean. And on the bump tonight for your Ash Trojans, number 10, Clayton Doyle. Clayton Doyle is there and getting the lineups called out here. There we go. Thank you there. KP, the one thing that you got to watch out for is you're not going to be able to get a lot in edgewise with the way Nick runs off about baseball. So we'll just have to be prepared for that.
Yeah, right.
Well, I've already got a little bit of an idea
Oh, boy. Here we go.
The dynamic between you and Nick, so it's pretty good.
Look, it's something else. And, man, Nick, how was it wearing that Menard green back onto the campus of Alexandria Senior High School, home of what was a run to the state title and all of those things, man?
I sent the drone in to make sure Coach Bachman wasn't anywhere around.
He said, I talked, he's not coming tonight, I don't believe.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of both these schools and both these programs here, but I will tell you, I do look forward to being in that other press box at Ash as soon as we get a chance.
You're exactly
because that's
look. It'll be here before you know it.
That's always
as well.
fun.
So,
but they asked us last year. They approached us last year to cover Menard baseball, and Danny Clear and I, we're able to work some things out. It's been a lot of fun covering the Eagles. Last year they had a great run to the state semifinals for baseball, and this year they're a younger team.
We're going to step away just for a moment of silence, a prayer, and our national anthem.
Father in heaven, we ask for your blessing on the game we are about to play. Give each participant the courage to play this game in a manner which by our words and actions is pleasing to you. Let us enter into this competition in a spirit of sportsmanship and with respect for the members of the opposing team. We ask you, Father, to bless each one of us, especially the coaches, officials, parents, and players. Keep us under the protection of your Son, Jesus Christ, and help us be aware of his presence within this game. We pray these things in your Son's name. Amen.
still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
What an awesome rendition of it, and you know that we are ready for baseball. Go over there and give that young lady 5 for that one. Look, that was a tremendous. That's the cool thing about the press box over here is they come up and they sing it upstairs. KP, give us a little insight on Clayton Doyle, pitcher side, not the football side. We'd call on Nick for that, but let us know a little bit about Clayton Doyle. You see him getting loose.
Yeah, he's getting loose. We pitched last week and pitched well. Couple of notes on Clayton. He's got an upper 70s mile-an-hour fastball, good curveball. One of the best changeups on the staff, according to Coach Hunter. When it's on, it's really good. Makes him hard to handle. So Coach Hunter's biggest compliment on Clayton was his competitive nature. He said he's a competitor and potentially has some of the best stuff on the staff.
Last year as well, it was a tight one. I guess, what was it, 2-1? Menard ends up winning that one in extras, but Doyle went 7 strong in there.
He did, absolutely. 7 strong. It was a good game.
Well, looking forward to another one. Nick, do you remember that one?
Yeah, it was first night of the Terry Matthews Invitational, and we honored Terry's family there. Had a bunch of Terry's players in the booth with us, and really enjoyed it. And Clayton come in and battled with Cohen LaRue, and basically went 9. They went to the 9th inning, and the Eagles walked it off. It was a great game, a good night. Matter of fact, the broadcast was about 4 hours total because we did a lot of pregame stuff. Chuck was there. Chuck ran the camera for the first pitch, and what a game it was. It was an instant classic, and you can go back on our YouTube page and watch it. Whenever you get a chance. It was a really good game, and you get a lot of insight on what Terry Matthews meant to this program in this area.
Thank you, Nick. Let's take a look at the Jerry Lee and Company starting lineup. Again, we told you around the outfield it goes. Left field is Miguel McGallion. In center field, Jacob Dean. Right field, Matthew Crenshaw. At third base, Caden Eckstein. Shortstop is Jackson Ross. Second base, Nate Oney. Over at first base is Jack Lee. And the battery tonight for your Trojans. Behind the dish, Braden Rashell. And on the hill, for your Trojans, Clayton Doyle leading off right now. It is Reeves Scroggs. He is the shortstop for this Menard team. And first pitch settle in. It is 6:01 on here. And it's time for the subdivision series. First one in there, strike 1. And we're underway. Boy, it's just good for this area, guys, to have this sort of thing going on around here with these two teams that are separated by maybe just a couple of miles. That one ground out to second base. Oney's got it's going to come up firing, and the first out is recorded. Boy, y'all going to have to remember who jumps in. KP, you're leading the way over there, brother. So Nick will add a little bit as we go along, but that's you.
Yeah, I think we can see that all these games around town, whether it's Tioga, Ash, Menard, the people that come out, I think that we need to do more of this.
I think Tioga Pineville are playing tonight as well.
They are.
This is Austin Pera that stands in there. He is the Eagle catcher. He was player of the week last week. If I remember, that ball is ground and bounced back foul. Nick, is that right? He was your player of the week.
Yes, he was. Had a great week last week. Threw out 4 runners. Was batting over 500 for the week, and he's also a freshman. 14 seniors last year, guys. There's 3 this year, and they're going to start 4 freshmen and 3 sophomores and 2 juniors tonight.
Nothing in one delivery from Trojans there is grounded foul, and it's going to double hit the player. And what, KP, just to tell folks and give them a little bit of idea from an umpire's perspective, what are you looking at on that?
You're looking, if you see it like the umpire just did, you call it. Otherwise, your field umpire is looking for it as well. As soon as it hits his foot in the back on the box, it's dead.
0-2 delivery now from Doyle as he stands in, has went strictly from the stretch tonight, has not worked from the windup on either of the 2 batters. He looks into Rachel, gets a sign, who sets up off, perhaps trying to get him to chase, fires that one down low and out of the zone for ball 1.
Of course, Doug, if Clayton, if he's anything like he is on the football field, it's going to be 100 miles an hour.
Well, anybody that you talk to will tell you exactly that about the youngster. There you get a good look inside at the setup from Doyle into Rashell. Here's the 1-2. That one ground back foul. Not really getting a good eye on what Doyle does to them. And, Nick, you told us it's a younger group that's in there. Tell me that count again.
Tonight there's 4 freshmen starting, 3 sophomores, and 2 juniors.
Wow. And a team that was senior laden last year that made that deep run into the semifinals?
Yep, lost 1-0 to St. Charles. Cohen LaRue had 2 hits, allowed 2 hits.
They'll do the 1-2 once again. Off-speed stuff that's dropped back foul again. And Para having a pretty good at-bat here.
I watched that game last year, Nick. That was a tough loss.
Yeah, they signed 6 baseball players, and the 7th player, Mike Henry, went to play football at LCU. So 7 of the 14 seniors, and could have signed 10 of them, but 3 of them decided they were done with their athletic career.
Ground ball is back to Doyle over his head. Here comes Ross. Comes up firing a big-time play over at first. Umpire at first base nods his agreement to it and out. But look at the work hustling down by Rashell. You really love to see your catcher follow that play all the way around.
That kid, he hustles every play. I haven't seen a play yet where he's not been down there behind that first base bag.
And that's the idea. That's, I guess, here of late, when they throw the ball around, they'll drop it back to the catcher and let him get and reward him a little bit for it. Procell will stand in there. This is Peyton Procell, number 16. He is the big burly first baseman for this Menard Eagle team. 2 up, 2 down. Fastball in there at 82. Go ahead.
Peyton's father, Rocky, and I are good friends. We both grew up in Winfield together. So I've known his dad for a long time.
There you go. 1-0 offering now on the way. Doyle stares in at Rashell. But I'm telling you, Procell just owns that batter's box. That one fouled back over to where they cook those burgers and fish and fries and all of that stuff. Which, yes, we'll make a trip down there sometime tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nothing doing early on. We're just into this one, probably about 5 minutes of game time officially. Doyle rocks back and delivers the 1-1 offering, and it misses low. Looks like, Nick, he's staying away from Procell. What's he done this year?
He's batting over 500 as well, and he's another one of the freshmen for this Eagle.
I'm sorry, a freshman?
Yep.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Big dude.
It's a big kid for a freshman.
That one fouled back and out of play, same spot. Looks like he's a little bit late on that fastball. You certainly want to stay with the heater. You don't want to give anything off speed and speed the bat up on it at all. Maybe bounce something in the dirt trying to get the freshman to chase. But batting over 500, it doesn't seem like he does that a lot. Doyle looks into Rashell and gets the sign. Here's the 2-2 offering. Outer half and down on strikes goes Procell. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors for Menard in the top half of the first. Due up for the Trojans. Jackson Ross, Nate Oney, Caden Eckstein when we come back.
Check out some of our recent work at the Panthers Stadium. In addition to custom signs and banners, we also handle custom trophies, custom awards, custom vehicle wraps, and more. Give us a call. We handle projects large and small.
We're back to Don Boniel Field. Doug Gann alongside of KP Miles and our special guest here in the unnamed press box, but that's for sale also. Nick Magnano joins us here. Nick, and man, just quick work there in the first. But tell me a little bit about your guy on the hill.
Yeah, this is Austin Henry's brother Mike is the one who signed to play football at LCU. He's 1-0 this year. Had a really good outing against Lakeside last Saturday.
Threw a touchdown pass this year in a game for
his
LCU.
older brother did. That's
sure
correct.
Did, so.
That's correct. So, so the Henry family, you know, they've been in Menard for I think 4 years now. When they came back from the Denham Springs area, and you know, he's pretty much the only senior pitcher that we have, and he's gonna, you know, hopefully, you know, get us into the third or fourth inning. That's been kind of one of the problems, you know, we've had this year, with the exception of him, is we haven't been able to get guys, you know, to stack innings.
I talked to Coach Briggs a little earlier, and I said, Coach, what's your plan? I said, you want to get out and start early on this younger team and put some weight. I said, what's your key in this one? He says, having more runs at the end than they do. I was like, all right, Coach. That's what he
right.
is so matter-of-factly and straight to the point. With anything, and that's your keys to the game, right?
Yeah.
There.
I mean, I don't know why that's an issue with you, Mr. Gann. Whenever you know you ask coaches stuff, they're going to give you straight to the point.
Jackson Ross will lead things off. He is the Trojan shortstop, and has just been solid in the first early parts of this season. Henry establishing the strike zone early, 0-1 the count here to the Trojan leadoff hitter.
Yeah, Ross was excellent last weekend, in all 3 games.
Yes. And it was tough between him and our player of the week. The battle was close between 2 of them, and we'll name him tonight. It was between Jackson Ross and Nate Oney. They were the 2 finalists, and we'll let you know about that here in just a bit. Henry comes set. He also works from the stretch, looks in and fires this one. Almost thought Ross wanted to pull that bat around and bunt just a little bit.
I think any way we can get him on base is a definite advantage for Ash.
Oh, he flies around the bases. There's no doubt about that. Nick, what do you have behind the dish? How do you catcher? Para
replaces an all-stater from last year, Ben Wade, and he's done really has a cannon in the back. You know, here he don't know how many people run on him as of yet. So, but like I said, I don't know if we've quite played a team as talented as Ash this year.
2 balls, 2 strikes into this one to the leadoff hitting Ross. Para does set up off the plate just a little bit, and that is hit that direction over to shortstop where it's fielded cleanly over to first and in time, and Ross flies down the line. So you know that Scroggs didn't have any chance to bobble or think about it or anything. But we've seen he was that was a play of the week last year that he made. He's solid there.
Yeah, last week he was a play of the week. Thing about him is between him, Tishner, and J.D. Shelton, they were 3 players that actually played some last year, did not play enough to letter, but they do have a little bit of experience at the varsity level.
Standing in, it is the Trojans' second baseman, Nate Oney, watches that go to the fence. And Nate's another one that had a tremendous week, pitched, got a win for the Trojans, and was all over the bases as well. And he is, we'll name it tonight, he is our last week's BU Designs Player of the Week. So congratulations. We'll get his plaque out to him and get when we do this week's as well. So,
yeah, I talked to Coach Hunter earlier in the day. I think you're going to see Nate on the mound tomorrow in one of the 2 games over at Menard.
Yeah, I expect so on there. You should see Oney, and we'll certainly believe that you'll see Jack Lee and a host of arms. And there goes Nick back up on the rooftop. He goes. St. Nick. 2-0 is there. That was easy for y'all to pull that one right. Across the diamond it goes Scroggs again, and wow, what a shortstop you guys have.
Yeah, he's played well. Like I said, it's big for him. It's he's only a sophomore, and like I said, he played a lot of second base for us last year. When Trey Curley was injured early in the season, he would go in whenever Cohen would pitch. So he does have some experience.
Seeing a lot of talented guys out there that you keep saying are younger guys,
yeah.
And that's got to make Coach Jordan Marks pretty happy. KK Eckstein will stand in there. Caden is the Trojan third baseman. Strides in again, 2 up and 2 down pretty quick. This is one of those matchups that you like to see between Henry and Doyle. This ought to be a good one. Henry stares in. Eckstein certainly can swing the bat with power. Here's a Henry offering, swung through that one and missed 77, so he took a little off of that one.
A good change up there. Going across, we have a junior in Gravel, a sophomore in Scroggs, a sophomore in Ortiz, and a freshman in Procell across your diamond.
So the infield doesn't get over. You had the one junior in it, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Eckstein. And Henry, I guess the only elder statesman up that
That's
group.
correct. That's correct. And then we have sophomore, junior, sophomore in the outfield.
They are playing Eckstein to pull definitely as that outfield is swung around. He goes opposite field with it, but there's Scroggs off the backhand, not going to be there. Eckstein safe on that one. And, boy, if Scroggs doesn't have to just backhand that one last step, he's there. That's tremendous work.
Yeah, that's definitely a hit. I would consider that a hit, Doug, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's a base hit. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Another name that Nick's very familiar with, number 15, the designated hitter tonight for the Trojans, Grayson Thibodeau.
You mean number 84?
That's right.
Early take from this game is don't hit it to Scroggs at shortstop. He's pretty good.
Gosh, yeah, this just in. He's real good.
Yeah, try somewhere else.
And to be honest with you guys, that's kind of been the problem. The problem really hasn't been defense up to this point. It's just really we haven't been putting the ball over the plate to let people put it in play. There's been a lot of walks.
If you give Eckstein, though, credit on this one, if you look inside that at-bat, as that was in there, evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike, the outfield and the infield was shifted, playing him to pull. He takes that outside pitch and goes opposite field with it. Otherwise, Scroggs is playing that straight up, and it's a routine 6-3 out.
Yeah.
And, again, you can't look and say, well, they're not supposed to shift. But that's where he's going to be is shifted over there. Thibodeau looked like he tried to shift the scoreboard there, swung out of his heels and missed that one, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Where'd your Menard hat go, man?
It's
you just
right there. I just didn't want to crush I didn't want to crush it with the headset. I'm not used to wearing a hat, so.
I feel you.
But I'm trying my best.
This one just fits. This just purple ash hat just fits.
Something about purple. I don't know what it is.
That one pushed fouling down the line over the Trojans' batting cage and rolls out there onto Warren. Out near the track, I guess, is where that is. So we'll redo the 1 ball and 2 strike count. Thibodeau just stands in there ready to go. We've seen him play first base. We've seen him DH. We've seen him all over the place. These still trying to find a few homes for players and where they're going to be. A few of these positions are settled in pretty well. There's a delivery from Henry. That one misses outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's not a bad spot for a 1-2 pitch.
No, if you're going to throw that one, you don't mind saying, hey, you know what, drive that to opposite field if you can do that.
The aforementioned Coach Bachman is actually over there behind.
He did make it into place. I'll be dadgummed. I guess that goes against the story that I talked to him earlier today. How about that? That's going to hit Thibodeau. It hit him on his shirt, it looked like, and curved back in. Maybe I don't know. My eyes tell me one thing.
I think it's time to go to commercial, Doug.
Indeed. We'll be back right after this.
We've all seen how quickly things can change. Everything from the world around us to the cost of things we use on a daily basis. That's why we all need someone in our corner to keep our family protected while still watching out for our pocketbook. I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. There's no better time than now to complete an insurance review to make sure you're properly covered and not paying too much. Whether it's in our office, at your home, or your place of business, let us help you find peace of mind. If you're in need of your insurance checkup, whether auto, home, or life, talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
And we're back to Don Boniel Field here on the campus of Alexandria Senior High School, due up for the Eagles in the top half of the second. Tishner, Brevel, and Shelton. James Tishner will lead things off. He plays left field. Nick, tell us a little bit about him.
He's actually one of the starting pitchers as well. Most of the time I've seen him, the 2 games that we've done, he was a starting pitcher. You know, we haven't done any road games, but he's very little experience. Last year he did get some action on the mound, but it was mainly in cleanup time.
So this is your first travel game to do, huh?
That's correct.
Okay, there you go. Come back to the friendly confines. Tishner, about as far back in the box as you'll find as Doyle rocks back and delivers this one, swung on and missed, and really took something off of that changeup. 68 on the clock.
Nick, I'm just going to do home games at Ash, but how's the travel stipend with 446 when you travel?
About as good as the
we need
home
to go
pay.
to another commercial,
Okay.
Rick, right,
All
Doug?
right. Okay.
Here comes the 0-1 delivery. Curveball misses up high.
Chuck, can you turn my mic up there? I'm hearing that I'm getting a text. I'm a little quiet, which it's just I'm probably not as loud
Boy,
as
is
Doug.
that what your friends just texted? We can't hear you, and KP's, but we can't hear you. Guys, come on.
Well, Doug, it's because you're in the number one slot. And
I'm
your
not
mic's
running the
always,
thing, yeah,
your
that's-
mic's always right.
Mike is always right. That's correct. Thank you, Chuck. 2 balls and 1 strike to Tishner. Doyle rocks back and delivers this one. Swung on and missed. Evens things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good-looking fastball. And when you can change your changeup and your fastball 11 miles an hour difference, boy, that's tough to gauge what's going on. Tishner's got that front foot all on the line, trying to get as much of that outside coverage as he can get. Doesn't have it there. Down on strikes and back-to-back strikeouts looking.
You know, your mic is always right. Sounds like a sponsorship opportunity,
Well,
doesn't it?
I'm kind of KP. That kind of looked like it was a little on the outside.
Well, he saw it right
Just-
there.
Yeah, he caught the
that's-
corner.
Yeah,
Okay,
see, there
yeah.
you go. Dude, you're not
He's
going
wearing
to get him
he's
to
wearing
go.
an ash hat too.
He's not like the rules expert with the NFL.
I got you.
Doyle rocks back and delivers this one.
See, that was outside.
Same pitch. Same pitch.
Boy.
Here we go. Here we
Here
go.
we go. Sheesh. 1 ball, no strikes.
So I'm gonna take up for the coaches, and KP's gonna take up for the umpires.
Yep. Doyle rocks back. This one fouled back from Gravel.
Well, I can tell y'all there's not an umpire in the association with more experience than that guy behind the plate. He's been here a few years.
Yeah, he
Mr.
umpired.
Home Plate, he's calling you old is what he's doing. That's seasoned. Let's go with that.
I
Now,
think
they
he
do a great
umpired
job.
me. I think he umpired whenever I played ball in the early '90s.
Correct. He's been doing it a long time.
My goodness. Quick moment to tell you what's coming up tomorrow. The subdivision series continues. It travels up Versailles, or down Versailles. Anyway, along Versailles, over to the Eagles Nest. First pitch scheduled for noon. Second game around 3, immediately, or about 30 minutes following this one. And you'll hear Nick and Danny on the call there. Doyle delivers this one. Ground ball over to KK. He's got it across the diamond. He will go. And it is good to go there. Lee brings it in at first base, and quickly 2 up, 2 down. It's 5 in a row set down by Doyle, and that will bring up J.D. Shelton. Shelton is the Eagles' right fielder, Nick.
Yeah, JD last year, few relief at opportunities, but that was really it. Didn't really swing the bat last year at all. So this is new to him as well.
Now there is a Shelton on the basketball team and the girls' basketball team and the girls' softball team. Is there any relation there?
I can't answer that. I will try to verify that for you. So I like the way you KP, just like he's always putting us on the spot, right?
1 ball, no strike delivery from Doyle as Shelton stands in there, digs in as best he can. That one misses up high.
I can tell you the Shelton's parents are also from Winfield. Procell and Shelton work together, and these 2 kids have played a lot of travel ball together.
Well, there you have it. See, thanks for the answers.
Yeah, and Jamie,
KP.
Jamie's one of our sponsors for Eagle Baseball
Yep.
on 446.
That one misses up and away, and quickly a 3-0 count now to Shelton. That would bring up the designated hitter,
I'm trying not
Sullivan,
to-
right after that.
I'm trying not to say our sponsors on the
Right? No
on
kidding.
each play.
I thought when that foul ball
Yeah.
it was going to have to hold you down. That is a base on balls, and that's all it is. That's all
all it is here?
Nick.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
no worries, no worries.
That's all that it is.
Designated hitter, number 6, Cooper Sullivan.
Cooper Sullivan stands in there. Looks another big kid. He's is he one of the young ones?
He's a freshman.
Yeah. Well, the freshman, good look. I know Coach Perkins over on the football field's got to be pretty happy too.
Yeah, Coop's your DH tonight, if I'm not mistaken, for Ortiz.
Quick throw by Doyle over to Lee at first, but not really off at all with Shelton.
So, Doug, is the 446 Sports voice going to be over at Menard tomorrow?
Well, indirectly, the voice of the Eagles will be there.
Okay, you won't be there.
No, we have Grace Christian, and going to try to go out at 10 o'clock. The girls are playing softball for the Eagles, which will be the voice of that this year as well.
Awesome.
Boy, if people don't like the voice, they're not going to like sports in this town this year. We're all over the place. That game is at 10 o'clock. They play.
KP, Danny, and I will be there, and I don't know if the perch is big enough for Mr. Gann tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I think that was a short joke, but that's okay.
So I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
No, Nick and I
I'm not going to talk about the short
You
jokes.
can't do that.
No.
1 ball, no strikes here. Doyle, off of his first walk, it went 5 up and 5 down.
No, and the reason why he's not welcome tomorrow is because Sunday evening he's doing the Grace Baseball Coaches Show and the Menard Softball Coaches Show. So I want his voice to be.
Oh, okay.
Okay, speaking of that, Nick, I think that on this series, we'll put something on the whole series. We need to have a friendly.
No, we're not.
A friendly
no, we're
little
not.
wager, the payoff is easy now, my friend. The payoff
Okay,
is easy. So
okay.
if Ash wins this series, then during your coach's show, you need to wear an Ash T-shirt or an Ash shirt. However, during my softball show, if Menard wins this, I'll wear a Menard
Yeah,
shirt.
there we go.
That one
Yeah.
outside. What? You don't think that'll work?
Yeah, it's always in somebody's favor here.
Just for
As much as I dislike participation trophies, I guess we're both winners whenever it comes to these two schools, right, Doug?
There's
for us.
no doubt, because 446 Sports is putting on a great event tonight because these two teams are doing battle. Inside it goes, and that one misses. So after a 4-pitch walk, he's 3-1 and nearly hits Sullivan there. And, boy, you'd like to right the ship a little bit. Expect Coach Hunter to go out and visit with him. Coach Briggs doesn't normally go out right away, but Coach Hunter, who controls that pitching staff, off and go. And there's a throwdown from Rachel, not going to be in time. Boy, good work by Shelton to get down from first to second.
Yeah, it looked like hit and run there. Coach Marks had called it. I did hear this earlier today that Sullivan was one of the better hitters in the fall for the Eagle program.
Pitcher Austin Henry is around after that, so he's looking to get something going. But Doyle has filled the count back up, 3 balls and 2 strikes after a struggle there the last 6 or 7 pitches. Throws that one right down the pipe and struck out looking, and that will do it. 3 strikeouts, all 3 via the backwards K. And we go to the bottom of the second. Scoreless. We'll be back right after this on 446 Sports. Back to Don Boniel Field here on the campus of Alexandria Senior High.
Up to bat for the Trojans, number 23, Jack Lee.
Jack Lee will stand there. He is playing first base tonight, and you can believe that you'll see Jack Lee on the hill tomorrow. He's a sophomore. He was all-district as a freshman pitcher and really, really comes after it.
Yeah, did well last week.
So if y'all were wondering what the umpire was doing, once the pitch is thrown down, there's a timer in between innings. You got to go. You can't go out there and talk on the mound. Once the pitch is done, you're ready to go.
All right.
They implemented that rule last year.
There's a delivery taken on the outer half by Lee, and Henry right back to work he goes here in the bottom of the second.
One of our Menard sponsors texted and said that the Sheltons you were speaking of, they are not related.
Okay, well, there you have it.
Thank you, Ms. Grimes.
Yes, thank you, Miss Grimes, indeed. 1 ball, 1 strike. They're always out at the show. They're great supporters of it, too. Yep. It's great to see.
It's Reeves' mom.
In watching. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Lee. The delivery there, and check swing. They don't need to check him, too. They'll call it. That's when he turns around and points at the batter. There's no check swing needed.
Correct. With that rule in place last year, the average game, I think, was cut by 18 or 19 minutes.
Goodness.
So it's helped a lot.
Imagine if they just went down to 3 balls for a walk and 2 for a strikeout. Down on strikes goes Lee, and that's the first one, I believe, tonight for Henry.
Yep.
For the Trojans,
good work there by Austin. So
Miguel McGallion will come in now, one of the seniors on this squad, and he plays left field and does it pretty well.
Tell you what, Ash looks like, I mean, they right-handed, left-handed is what I saw the first series. It doesn't look like they're using as many lefties tonight, but they have people from both sides of the plate, don't they?
Indeed they do, and they try to mix things up. Coach Briggs he's been at it for 25, 30 years, I guess. He has really been around for a while. High school around the time, back in the late hundreds. And to give you an idea, back before you, Nick, too, as a matter of fact.
You know, I am not the oldest person on this crew.
No, you're not. I said I was in high school before you. No, we won't talk about who the oldest one. That one is fouled back and out of play by McGallion.
It needs to keep going, the right side of this press box. It does not need to go to the left side.
Where we're all parked.
That's right. That's correct.
You get here late, right before the game starts, and you realize, man, there's a lot of great spots available.
Yeah.
Pretty good reason.
Yes, there is. The old Allen Glass.
Henry looks in. McGallion 1-2. That one is lifted into the gap and will drop down for the game's first base hit. It was over there in a tough spot between left and center, or right and center field.
Yeah, I wonder if JD might have lost it in these lights over here. It looked like he kind of short-armed it from what I could see here.
Matthew Crenshaw stands in there. Got to talk to Matthew during the football season at homecoming, if you'll remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Going to go into broadcast, does some stuff on the Trojan Sports TV, or the Trojan TV.
Yep, and also a soccer player, all-district soccer player for the Trojans.
Pitched a pretty good game Monday night as well up at Natchitoches Central.
He's got into West Point.
Yeah, Coach Tucker said he threw well up there.
Yeah, he did. That's right. That's one of the great accomplishments is that he's going to West Point.
And hopefully Sarah's sister's listening in.
Well, talk to that one. See, look, on cue, sliding stop over at second base, and that's just good work over there by Ortiz.
Sophomore.
Well, this Eagles team is going to be something the next few years.
You guys have been around baseball for a while. Might know that Nico's dad, Julio,
that's right,
was a really good player at Bolton. Also went on to play at Oklahoma State, and he's the offense coordinator for the Eagles football team.
He did some work with baseball and softball through his times here as well.
That's correct.
This is Braden Rachel. He is the Trojans' catcher, runner out at second base.
It's got to be an interesting dynamic for Coach Marks. He went from 14 seniors to 3. That's got to be – I don't know if I've ever heard of that in all my years of baseball.
And we talked about it. I'll let Doug call the pitch here, and we'll talk about it in between this one.
1 ball, no strikes to Rachel now. Henry looking back at second, delivers here. That one is outer half of the plate for strike 1.
Yeah, last year was more management. KP, and this year it's, management and coaching. And he said he'll have some of these guys get to third base and look at him and just look like they've never been there before. And he's like, relax, just calm down.
Scroggs flashing out there at shortstop, but nothing doing. That one lands outside. 2 balls and a strike here.
One of the things I've always loved about Coach Marks is he's a good baseball coach. He's just as good a man and just as quality a person.
And finished second place, I'll have you know, second place in the inaugural Blazing Wings Challenge. So that we had at Buffalo Wild Wings a year ago. So
1 out of 2, huh?
Absolutely 1 out of 2. There were tears to his eyes when he took that first bite. That was you knew at that point it wasn't going to last long. But in his defense, it didn't for either one of them. 3 balls and a strike. Henry looks in. That one misses away, and that's going to get McGallion over to third base and on down to first. Looking back, boy, I like that from Rachel to look back and say, did they have it in? If they thrown it anywhere? Because he was ready to go to second base.
Yeah, he was looking back. And
Jacob Dean, the everyday center fielder for this Trojans team, and they'll swap and put a runner out there for Rachel.
Learned this week that I went to school with his aunt.
With Jacob's aunt?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Tracy, Brandon, a really good athlete at Bolton High School in the 90s, and her sister Debbie is married to Mr. Kenny Dean, I think is his name. He works with a good friend of mine.
Well, that one missed down low, but a great work by Para to keep that from the backstop. This is not like the one that we've seen a lot of games this year over at Grace, where a pass ball doesn't guarantee anything. You're going to score if one gets past the catcher here, so it's double tough to make sure you're in on one. Looking to lay one down, but I think he was just more trying to get in the way of anything was Dean and get it back to the top of the order.
Dean laid a couple of really good bunts down last weekend.
Yeah, it seemed like he's the type of player that just does what needs to be done.
That's what he did last weekend for sure.
Scratches away and owns center field out there. He patrols it quite well. That one will get back to the backstop, and sliding in safely there is McGallion for the Run's first game.
Yeah, question for you, KP.
Okay.
Did you see where Dean was whenever that ball?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, how does that become an issue? Well, he's telling him, but what is –
If he interferes with that throw coming back from the catcher to home plate, that runner's out.
Okay.
Where was he at?
He was way too close.
He was standing where the catcher is right now.
Yep, way too
he
close.
Probably can't be there.
So, but the only way it becomes a play is if the ball would have been thrown and it would have hit him, or
if the umpire deems that he interfered with the throw, then that runner at third would be out. Absolutely.
Boy, that gets you back to that controversial SEC championship
Oh,
call
boy.
or whatever year when he go, boy, yeah, nothing like getting Nick's blood up and
yeah,
flowing.
we don't need to be talking about that.
one.
Yeah.
Just soon talk about the Saints interference call. Let's talk about that.
That's
Well,
right,
yeah,
going back to the Rams from all them. He does lay this one down, and Dean
Great bunt.
is going to run this one. Henry's got to spin and throw, diving in and safe, and never checking up at all. Safe at home, too. That is just tremendous, tremendous work right there. My goodness.
Up for the Trojans, number 1, Jackson Ross.
Jackson Ross back to the top of the Trojans lineup. Hey, let me tell you, they just stole that run right there.
Well,
Heads
I
up
mean,
base running.
I definitely agree with the
Aiden Birch was the pinch runner. They're the courtesy runner that came in and worked his way all over. He came in and ran for Rachel, but that was just big-time work, and that's a potential Southern Air cool play of the game right there. Off and going again, almost took Henry's head off.
I do agree with the play at the plate. First base, I might be a little more questionable on that one, but
You want to get a bigger chair to stand and
well,
see over Chuck?
I got a pretty good angle here, Cam. So, but
See, for those of you at home that know, Nick and I are normally for the same
Yes.
team. This is the first time that we've called one for opposite teams.
but I
Kind
will
of
give
enjoying
credit
the
where
dynamic.
I will give credit where credit's due. Birch, that was an excellent slide because the throw did beat him, and that was an excellent slide that he put that right arm around.
I mean,
With that
did
oven
not-
mitt.
did
With that
not
oven
ch-
mitt.
That's right. There'll be brownies later.
Yeah. KP, is there a certain length that oven mitt can be?
There's not a certain length of it, but if it's in your back pocket like it is with that young man, and it gets hit, you don't get the base.
Okay.
That's a difficult place to get hit, though, from
It
there.
is.
From a, I don't know.
It is.
Huh.
Well, one thing I will say these baseball players have more pads on them than the football players.
I would agree.
You're right. 1 ball, 2 strike count to the Trojan leadoff hitter. Ross puts that right back where we're at.
What you flinch for,
Shaking
Game?
up the GoPro and knocked it off. I think he turned it off a little bit.
The other thing that I think Coach Briggs will talk to
Did
Dean
we
about.
lose our camera there? I don't know why. Because it's sitting on the fence, so. Yeah. You see it on the, yeah, it's gone right now.
These kids see it on TV, but sliding into first base is slower than running through
Exactly.
the base.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because
It
it
is
slows
slower.
them
That's
down.
another
It does.
reason why never mind. I'm not going to say we need to just move off of that play.
That's why first base is that option. Is that you now if the throw brings the first baseman off and he's got a sweeping tag, then yes, I don't mind you sliding and going under it.
Correct. But in that situation, it slowed him down.
But does that do anything to skew the thought process of the ump in the field?
No, not in the field. The field umpire has the glove. He's looking for the ball in the glove. The plate umpire is going to look down the line to see the foot and make sure that foot's on first base.
Off and running there, and that one is lifted high and into right field. Going back for it there. Still a little bit of struggle on there, but that will do it. But not before the Trojans pick up a couple of runs in the bottom half, and aggressive base running got those. Trojans lead it 2-0. We'll be back for the top of the third when we come back.
Central Louisiana. This is your home for live sports action. From the field to the court, 446 Sports delivers the games you love with expert commentary and passionate coverage. Cheer for your favorite athletes and relive the moments that define our community spirit. Our sponsors keep us in the game. Together, we bring you the best in local sports coverage. Join the 446 Sports family today. Watch, cheer, celebrate. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. 446 Sports, where Central Louisiana comes to play.
A hot and steamy au jus is the king of dips. It enhances the flavor of everything. Roast beef, onions, cheese. I would dip everything in au jus if I could. Everything. Take it from a real firefighter. You gotta come and try this new French dip sub.
And we're back. Don Boniel Field here. Special guest up in here making his appearance in the press box. Athletic director, head football coach Thomas Bachman.
It's a little warmer up here. I just need a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to go back out there.
This is nice. Austin Henry will lead things off. And I like the way you did the room check when you came in here to make sure that your man, the voice of the Eagles,
You better believe it. You better believe it. That's my man right there.
Henry coming in. Look, tell me about the work of Dole out on the hill. He's just a competitor.
Yep, love him, competitor, no doubt. You said it. Love the kid, love the family. Happy to see him out. You know, like we talked about last time, battled some injuries, and you know, it's good to see him healthy out there competing. We certainly need him.
That one over towards Oney at second base. He's going to have it over to Lee in first.
Attaboy. Well, that was a beautiful slide by Hisney.
So let's back up just a little bit then. And you were in a good position. We're about half and half on outer safe at first base. What say you?
I say the umpire. Oh, which you talking about?
The one at first base that looked like a win. He comes around and scores right here.
The umpire said safe.
That's right.
You know, one of the things. It's funny that you say that. You know, we talk about with the kids all the time. You know, our job's to coach. Your job's to play. And the official's job is to officiate, and nobody can do somebody else's job.
That's right.
So you got to focus on the things that you can control. Now, it doesn't mean I'm not going to argue a call or two. I'm not saying that. You gotta work officials and try and influence and see what you can get. But at the end of the day, you know what they say. That's what goes, and you're not going to change it. So. Of course he was safe.
That's right. Because, look, and Coach Bachman's always one of those to agree with what the officials say most all of the time. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. I didn't say that I wouldn't argue or disagree, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So
that one is fouled back out of play by Cutter Knowles. He stands in there and just been solid. We saw him in football. Yeah, they're looking at us. It's 2 balls and a strike to Knowles. Knowles again right up on that line. And that is across the side for strike 2. And so talked to Coach Briggs earlier today and through some of this, said that Dole pitched so well against Menard. That's why he wanted to see them back out there against him.
Yeah, I remember that one last year. Went into extras, correct?
It did. Went 9 innings.
9 innings, yeah. That was a heck of a battle. I thought he pitched really well, and, you know, happy to see him back out there. Anxious to see who we get tomorrow. I guess we got 2
full count.
Yeah, you expect that you'll see Hennessy and probably Jack Lee out there tomorrow. Well, maybe not Hennessy. Who did we say, KP?
Oney.
Oney and Lee should go tomorrow. and that is a walk to Knowles, and that'll flip things over and get back to the top of the Eagles lineup. And Scroggs is their shortstop who's been playing really, really well tonight.
Yeah, he's made a couple plays.
That's what we learned early in the first inning. Don't hit it there.
Yep.
The aggressiveness of the base runner. When you hired Coach Briggs, what is it, four years ago now, maybe?
Whew, time flies. You'd have to, don't put me on the spot as far as years, but yes, it's been at least 4 or 5 years.
It was that type of fire that he's had with him forever. Boy, they almost had him. There's a snap throw back down to first, but not in time.
Had him.
That's the fire that you see in getting a Greg Briggs over here as a head coach. You know that there's going to be that type of aggressiveness.
A ton of experience. Been in, coached at the highest level. Been in a championship game. Just the experience that he has, and as you called around, that was the name that you kept hearing. Just what he brings to the table. But yes, I mean. I try not to get in a whole lot of baseball conversations with him or some of the baseball because I can't necessarily keep up. They get into the nuance of the game, which is, awesome. I learn, every time I have a conversation with them.
Okay, so and you stay away from those conversations because they start talking the intricacies of it, and you're like, I just say.
Well, I mean, there's just a lot to it.
I'm going to go somewhere with this too.
Okay.
When I come into your office and we have our pregame, and you get on that board and you say, "Well, Doug, if he's doing this, and the X is over here, and this," and I'm like, I got nothing, Coach.
It's the beauty of the game.
That's right.
It's in the details.
1 ball, 1 strike. Doyle looking over at first, and he's going to fire that way. Not in time, but just enough to say, hang on.
So this is only our 4th game here, but being around Coach Briggs on the field and off the field, now that I'm not out there, he's a very matter-of-fact person. He doesn't have a whole lot to say.
Yeah.
It's just we're matter-of-fact, let's do the job and get it done, and that's it.
Yep. I think that's a very good assessment, and, there's certain, I certainly appreciate that.
One of the things that we know for sure in a post-game interview is that you ask him a question, you're going to get the answer. There's no doubt about that. And I think that's what Nick has learned about interviewing you, Coach Bachman. Knows it's not so much what to ask, but what not to ask sometimes. Doyle delivers this one, and it's fouled back into that screen behind it, shaking things over there on the.
By the way, Coach, it took 4 games to bring up my penalty at Peabody.
I remember it.
Yeah.
I remember.
Take us through that again, Coach.
Let's not do that. Time for a commercial. Yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Doyle is there. Look, there's been a lot of memories through the last 10 years, my friend.
Right,
It's been a lot of fun. Snap throw back over there. That one is close, boy.
Yep. I think we said it.
A good move.
This is what's so fun about it all, man. It's the relationships. It's the only thing that lasts when it's all said and done.
Yep, you're exactly right. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. 1 down. Here in the top of the 3rd, Doyle shakes again, agrees to that one. Snap, throw back down. They've got to be careful. Boy, Lee does a good job to block that up because if not, it gets out into right field. Looking around, just a steady mix of there's some football guys out there, some baseball guys out there. I asked Briggs a question about Doyle the other day when we talked about him, and I said, is he a football player playing baseball or a baseball player that plays football? And he says, I think he's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And that's right. That one driven out into right field. Going to camp out under that one and make the grab is Matthew Crenshaw. He pitched a good game Monday night up at Natchitoches Central. Late innings, caught up with the Trojans again in that one as they're 2-3 on the season. But, the late inning woes have got them. They could very well be 5-0 on this season.
Yep. One of the positive things they talked about, though, from the Natchitoches Central game was that they didn't make errors. They didn't walk people. Natchitoches Central, they had shut them out for 17 innings in a row.
Wow.
And then Coach Hunter said, look, we're not going to shut them down for that long.
Right. Clayton, I believe it was Clayton, threw really well against them last year. I guess you're going back into last year.
Right.
From what I understand, Natchitoches Central's got a really experienced veteran team and one of the contenders. Do I understand that correctly?
Yes, you're right on with that. So that's one of those that, that's a good measuring stick for you. That one swung on up the middle.
Step on it.
Ross is not able to control it, and that's going to eat him up. I think he was thinking about the stepping on second, going over to first, and unfortunately doesn't get either one of those. But Menard with a little something brewing with Procell to come up. That was That was Para, I believe. Yeah, Austin Para that did that.
Now, last year, Natchitoches Central had 2 kids going to play college baseball. One of them going to Alabama.
Reed LaRue is the courtesy runner that is going down for Para.
Guys, y'all are awesome. I'm going back out into the cold
to brave the cold. We'll be back down that way to the hamburger stand here in a minute.
Yeah, no doubt. Maybe that's where I'm really
right. Coach Thomas Bachman joining us here in the press box, and always great to visit with Coach Bachman.
Yeah, I don't know if Natchitoches Central graduated both of those kids, but they had 2 kids going to play college baseball last year.
Well, no, they have
2
one
pitchers.
to sign. They have one to sign with Alabama. He's still there. He's a lefty.
Okay.
And one that's going to be at Tech. He's a righty. And
they're both still there?
Yes, they're both still there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And the Trojans were leading the way in that one till late in the game. Doyle trying to wriggle out of a little trouble here, trying to protect that 2-run lead. As I don't know if Nick can stay out of a perch. That's he's back up top on the chair again.
You're not doing this to me again next year.
How so?
Putting me in that position with Coach Bachman. For the record.
At least you didn't have the hat on.
That's right. That's right.
Because when I did talk to him earlier today, I said, make sure you come up because Nick's going to be in his green. So in full transparency, that trip up here and why he was checking you was based on.
All right, for my Menard peeps, I got a Menard jacket. I mean, I've got a green and white jacket that I was wearing, but it's just too hot up here to keep it on. And
he
the
took
hat,
it off, and there's a purple shirt under it.
No,
too,
there's not.
That
No,
says
there's
Dome
not.
for the holidays.
And then there's a Menard hat on top of my bag over there that I didn't want the headset to mess up. So
that's your all-star coach's bag over there that you so proudly take around with you
that's my
everywhere.
DYN duffel bag.
Okay.
Another sponsor of 446 Sports.
2 balls and a strike from Doyle to Procell. Procell, the big young freshman first baseman, fires this one in, does Doyle, and that's a ground ball. Perfect job of hitting, and that's going to have to be Crenshaw coming up, firing, cutting the throw to try to keep something over. Got a chance at third, and that one bounces around. Goodness gracious. Worst fears realized in that one, but aggressive base running, and that was the Karate Kid.
That's the first one. It's probably better known for these guys as Cobra Kai. I don't know if they understand the Karate Kid
well, that's
part.
a heads-up play from the left fielder. If he's not back there,
That's right.
Run scores, maybe 2-run score.
Well, the Eagles get back run. Is that something that those Eagles do?
That's the first time I've seen that.
Ever?
Yep. Now, he missed one of the games that we did because he's a basketball player as well. So the first
Very
game.
nimble out there.
First game we did against St. Mary's, he was not there, but against North Dakota, we did not see that.
Tishner stands in there trying to get the Eagles back to square in this one, or perhaps the lead. A base hit would score a couple. I just somehow had shades of one of those NFL kickers that celebrates and comes down and it gets hurt or something like that. I hate to see that type of celebrating.
Well, I'm going to take Coach Bachman's advice, but I can tell you this much. That outside pitch is very close.
Yep.
Let's just put it this way. I'm going to let the official officiate, but that outside pitch is very
That one
close.
high in the air, and trouble having to give chase is Oni, and he's over there. Nate is able to pull that one down, but not before the Eagles pick up a run. 2.5 in the books. Trojans lead this one 2-1 when we come back for the bottom of the third on 446 Sports.
For cataract surgery in Central Louisiana, insist on Wallace Eye Associates, where leading eye surgeon Dr. Thomas Stuckey and our team of doctors continue to set the standard in cataract care in Louisiana. If you're over age 60 and just aren't seeing as well as you used to, let our cataract team restore your vision and renew your life. When it's time for cataract surgery, there's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
Check out some of our recent work at the Panthers Stadium. In addition to custom signs and banners, we also handle custom trophies, custom awards, custom vehicle wraps, and more. Give us a call. We handle projects large and small.
We've all seen how quickly things can change. Everything.
And we're back here to Don Boniel Field, Alexandria Senior High School. Chuck, Brett, are you going to run the follow now, or
Do I need to come down and run the camera?
Yeah, if you'll hop down here and run that, and we'll switch. And
For the Trojans, number 26.
we need to get somehow. Let's go to the picture cam and then focus down in on what our guys doing down there at the GoPro cam. Yep, there he is up in the top of it. That's our picture cam. All right, you can go back to the follow. That's fine. That one ground to second base is Ortiz hustling down the line, but in time. Boy, quickly getting down the line there was Oni, but unable to get that, and that'll bring Eckstein to the plate. These are just two teams that are just going to go at each other. What are they, 3A? Is that what the Eagles are?
Yes. Well, 2A technically. They're in Division 3 in baseball.
There you go. Trojans out of District 2 5A, which features the state champion West Monroe Rebels. That one misses
Doug,
away, yeah.
Whenever we call Ash football, and you had Hayden Federico.
Mm-hmm. I saw he had his hit with Ole Miss. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, why can't we get this guy out of our system?
I know. It seemed like he started and played quarterback for 6 years for West Monroe.
Well, the Halsey kid is from his parents are from Winfield, and his mom's.
Look, Winfield's not that big,
I'm
KP.
telling you.
Everybody did not come from Winfield.
Trey's mother grew up in Winfield, and I'm friends with her on Facebook, and he's doing well at Tech right now. Starting first baseman as a freshman at Tech.
Population of Winfield was 86,512.
Hey, one of our best sponsors of Menard Baseball.
Of course they are.
Two of them are actually from Winfield.
Yep.
So
goodness.
Mr. Jason Tarver, hopefully he was watching
Alexandria
earlier.
North.
Yep.
Appreciate Jason at Sabine State Bank.
Jason was a pitcher at LC.
Yep.
Just couldn't resist. Good, you had
I'm
to
just,
jam one note.
just saying,
Jason pitched at LC all 4 years. He was
Up to bat for the Trojans,
pretty
number
good.
15, Grayson Thibodeau.
Grayson Thibodeau will stand in, ready to go.
Jason has two very athletic daughters. That one has graduated from Grace, was a great soccer player, and the other
That's
one,
right.
Audrey, is a soccer player and a state champion in the 100-meter hurdles.
That one hits Thibodeau.
That's third one for him for the year.
Well, and that goes back to that one earlier that hit him just on the sleeve, you said.
Well, and this has been the thing with this inexperienced staff is, just a little inconsistency for your Eagles.
Chuck, you did get a little camera time while you were down there and tending to things. Jack Lee, the sophomore pitcher tonight, first baseman, will stand in there. Grayson Thibodeau on at first. Eckstein over at second base, and the Trojans looking to get the run back and perhaps a little bit more here. Bottom three. They put up two in the bottom of the second on some pretty nifty base running, and there's that call on the outer half that's been there all night long.
Yep, I'm good with it now. Don't see it as long as he's
all
consistent.
you want is consistency out of it.
Right.
That's the only thing. Let everybody know where it's at.
And if it's a strike in the first inning, it's a strike in the seventh inning.
That's right.
Yep.
Henry drops back, fires this one, blows it right by Lee, and boy, that's just power on power there. 77 miles an hour from Henry, so not the fastest that he's thrown, but that's coming at him with a fastball. Lee gets up those toes, not as close as we've seen to that inside line. Henry looks back at second base, and that one just misses away. Looked like he was trying to get perhaps Lee to chase one outside and just go further and further out and away.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to get another good pitch to hit until he has to.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Henry looking in at Para behind the dish. Lee set to go. Oh, took a nasty little off-speed pitch. 68 miles an hour on that one, and that's about as good a pitch as I've seen Henry throw tonight.
Yep, excellent pitch there by Austin. Good work to get that second out.
Miguel McGallion will stand in there, the Trojans' left fielder. Taps the bat on that turf and a couple of practice swings and gets there in about the same position that the last batter was in, Lee.
Big spot here for the senior.
Lifts that one deep and into the gap, and it's way back off the glove of the right fielder.
No, he caught it.
No, did he catch that one out there? My goodness, what a play thought he had it, but they kept running. But I guess that momentum got him out of there. That is another one of those candidates for the cool play of the game, and that saved a couple of runs and keeps it right here. 1-run margin after 3 complete. We'll go to the top of the 4th when we come back.
We've all seen how quickly things can change. Everything from the world around us to the cost of things we use on a daily basis. That's why we all need someone in our corner to keep our family protected while still watching out for our pocketbook. I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. There's no better time than now to complete an insurance review to make sure you're properly covered and not paying too much. Whether it's in our office, at your home, or your place of business, let us help you find peace of mind. If you're in need of your insurance checkup, whether auto, home, or life, talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
And we're back here. Don Bonial Field, Alexandria Senior High School. Trojans lead this one 2-1. They pick up 2 runs in the bottom of the 2nd. Eagles answer back with 1 in the top of the 3rd, and we'll try to build on that here. Top of the 4th we go. This is Aaron Bravel that will lead things off. He is the Eagles' 3rd baseman, Nick.
Yeah, I will say the thing about Aaron is if he gets a hold of one, he could put it in that soccer goal over here in left field, but would be excited to see.
Goal.
Yeah, there's soccer
It's in
goal
foul
behind.
territory.
No, there's one. There's one behind. I'm up here on the perch, Doug. I can see it.
I got you. It's like, well, if he gets a hold of one, he'll foul it off.
Yeah, I'd like for Aaron to put one over there.
That one is up. You hear that, Coach Bachman? Come on, get it. That one misses up high. Dole doing well on there in control of this one. That one got away from him in the last inning, gave up the run. That one lifted just straight up. Rachel throws the helmet away, does a good job, comes around and faces the backside of the ball where that spin's going to be.
That's their last 2 outs, Doug, have been 2 phenomenal plays. We didn't get a chance to talk about the second baseman,
right?
Because we went to
Oni.
commercial break. But Oni on that play he made in right field in foul territory, and then that play with the catcher, that's one of the hardest plays in baseball right there.
J.D. Shelton will stand there, and then the debate is on. A lot of that used to be the thing early on, is they'd take that helmet and throw it completely away from them as Dole delivers this good curveball inside.
Nice pitch.
But you'll see folks now that will hang on to it until they see where the ball's at and then chunk it so they don't drift around and end up over there. So, boy, a steady diet of curveballs there from Dole to the last 2 of them, too.
I'll have to go back and watch, but I think last year his curveball was more, 12-6. And this year it looks like it has, it's a little
lot more
to the
sharper
side.
break, yeah.
But that was 2 great pitches back to back.
Again, trying to chase one outside. Nick, go ahead.
Well, Doug, back when we played, the mask and the helmet were
one piece.
Yeah.
That's right. That one just
I guess this one is too now.
tapped foul. Mm-hmm. Nick, the gloves didn't close all the way. It was just that.
Look, I was telling somebody the other day, I don't know if we worked on the glove or the bill of the hat more.
Well, that's right. We were talking about
kids.
the other night on the show. You remember those days of getting that new glove in and put a ball in it and sleep in the mattress? Oh, that one just misses up out of the zone.
Just a bit outside.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, a little camera shake there.
Now, one thing I do remember was cup ball. Remember, you get the foul balls when you were a little kid, get the wax cup, and everybody would, because you couldn't afford to get
Roll it up, that's
your
right.
parents wouldn't buy you 4 or 5 drinks, so you'd have to get the foul balls to get the cups. And
No, they don't give those away anymore, though. You just got to return the ball. That one outer half, strikeout looking again, and Doyle is rolling on those strikeouts looking. That is 4 for him tonight.
KP, you talked about just the consistency, and he's been there all night. So
He's been there all night, and he'll be there in the 7th inning as well.
yeah, I thought it was a little, but once again, he called it for both sides. So
Yep.
Cooper Sullivan will stand in, looking to go to work. He is the Eagle designated hitter.
And good coaches will tell you got to adjust. There's a different strike zone a little bit for every umpire. You got to adjust.
yeah.
So, okay. Why is that, though? Is everybody has their own interpretation of the strike zone when it's over the plate and it's shoulders to knees. It's a defined strike zone.
It is a defined strike zone. I agree. It's just that, over time, for instance, like I said last week, I grew up watching Maddox and Smoltz pitch.
Right.
They worked the outside corner. I called it better than the inside corner. You have an official in the field that calls the high strike. It's just a little bit different for everybody, just like with a football official.
I guess, though, so as things morph to that, and I think that's terrible for baseball, going to that digital strike zone where they can call for the instant replay by a computer. That takes the human element out of it, and the human element lost in sports is ridiculous. That one is fouling out of play.
All right, so when you asked me to be on the broadcast for this game,
didn't ask you,
I
but
did not
anyway.
know that he was going to bring up a Maddox. Okay,
Right.
A Maddox, because being a Cub fan, that's deep, right, Brett? That's deep for Cub fans. You were happy because you were a Braves fan, but for us, yeah, that's why Brett's looking at me like, don't he came over to the good team.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the top of the 4th. Doyle delivers that curveball. I guess that was more of a slider, I think.
That's what I'm saying. It looks more. Yeah.
That had a lot more bite to it. Anyway, that'll do it for the Eagles in the top half of the 4th. We'll be back. Bottom of the 4th is just about a minute away on 446 Sports. Back to Don Boniel Field. We are here, and while we're on soapboxes, I think the most useless and look, understand how much I love baseball. Okay, there's no doubt how much I do. As Matthew, I think the most useless thing in baseball is the bullpens emptying when there's a little fracas there, But time they get in from the outfield, it's time to go back. But I guess you have to do it. But I think that's the most useless thing in baseball.
And baseball, unlike basketball and football, have not implemented the rule where when you leave the bench, you're done.
The other thing about it too, that'd be like having your quarterback throwing punches in a
You're doing good.
in a fight, huh? I guess.
Right.
I'll go back to camera here. Where I don't know where Chuck went, but I'll go back to
went
camera
back
here.
down. He's up on the rooftop again. 2 balls, no strikes in to Crenshaw, who leads things off in the bottom half of the 4th for your Trojans.
Yeah, now you see the benches in basketball and football. If you get off the sidelines or get off the bench, you're done for the game. They haven't done that in baseball yet.
No, and that's one of those things that you look at it. Anyway, how we got off on that, who knows? Oh, yeah, it was me.
Yeah, it was you.
4-pitch walk to Crenshaw from Henry, and you can see he's just aggravated with himself on that one without a doubt, and the catcher, Braden Rachel, will stand in.
I'm assuming Crenshaw can run, huh?
There's no doubt. Yeah.
I think he was hurt last year during this game, so we didn't get to see him play.
So, again, Nick, you may not have seen this. One of the things that they work on is getting that exaggerated of a lead. They'll get out to the cut in the grass or the turf area, and so Jackson Ross's lead is even his back foot is where the front foot of Crenshaw is, but they really take an exaggerated lead, and Briggs has them wanting to dive back in without a doubt.
Gotcha.
See him stretch that lead out. It's not as big as some of the ones that we've seen. Henry peers over, now delivers, trying to lay down the bump. That ball is going to get past Para behind the dish, and that will get Crenshaw down to second base. You see him there resting comfortably. 2-1, Trojans lead this. You see that on your Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard. Big crew in the house tonight. Doug Gann alongside of KP Miles and Nick Magnano joins us. Chuck Perkins is here on cameras, and that one squirts away too. That'll get to the backstop. Pair thinks about it, but too much room even if the ball does come back to you. And on production, Brett Stallsby. So we've got, boy, what a crew in here tonight. I remember the good old days where you're look like the guy in the circus that's playing the drum and everything, trying to do it all yourself. But what a crew that we have here tonight.
Yeah, your production costs are probably pretty high for this game.
Skyrocketing.
Coach Logan Nicholson is the new pitching coach for the Eagles. Out here talking to Austin.
And the pitching coach going out, that's just he's working. Hey, clear your head a little bit, get your mechanics down, and let's go.
I actually tried to get you a few close-ups last week of some mound visits. Expected some of those cartoons you used to do, but
well, give me one of those out of that tomorrow, and we'll do that.
I think I was too cold to text you after that game to tell you that hey, I
got that for you. After two of them back to the backstop, that gets Crenshaw over to third base, and Rachel, who was squaring the last couple of times, don't think he'll be doing it. He's just going to try to put something in play. First base is creeping in. That's that young man that we saw, Procell. He'll come up and try to cut anything off, a little bit of a one-hopper to first to try to get that run out at home. Anything to the middle of the infield you think will probably score Rachel.
Should score a run if it's the second or short.
Good-looking pitch right there. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and that's the one Dole's been getting calls on.
Yeah, you're just looking to put the ball in play here. Anything pretty much on the ground. And
well, this game is 2-1. There's been some defensive plays. That one by the Eagles right fielder, was that Shelton?
Yeah.
That was just play. He's going to have another opportunity, but that one is back, having to twist Shelton around. This time it is going to drop. Good piece of hitting right there by Rachel.
Announcer jinx. Don't call me on that again.
Yeah,
don't call me on that again. That's the announcer jinx.
It's a real thing, Nick. I mean, I just keep throwing them out, and you just keep biting. I mean,
jeez, you just talked about how but no, that ball was hit on the rope out there.
That's a lot of power to the opposite field from that young man.
Going away from him.
Hitting out of the 8-hole to drive it over there off the wall.
But that's actually all 3 runs are unearned.
Jacob Dean.
You would expect Dean to lay one down here.
Third base is back pretty deep. If there's a way to get it to third.
There it is.
He hits it right back to Henry, though. That's not where you want to do it. Dean's got speed. Boy, quickly in and out of there was Procell. But you did a job, and that's what you wanted to do.
Team player right there.
And gets it back up to the top of the order in Jackson Ross. Looking to put another one on the board. 3-1 here for Alexandria in this one. Bottom of the 4th. Infield does come in on the corners, though. They're still back a ways in the middle of it, and that bounces around. Para able to stop that one. He had a couple that got by him to the backstop, but a good job to just go down to that gear and block that one up. 1 ball, no strikes. Again, you think something on the ground. should score the run if it's middle side of the field. Swung through that one, and that's fouled back. Well, getting a piece of it was Jackson, and that hurt him that time, getting a piece of it.
So, Doug, it's the same Alexandria, the same district in baseball as in football?
258.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, Ruston, West Monroe.
Washita, West Monroe, Pineville, and Washita Parish. And Neville. Another bunt. Boy, small ball here from Briggs. That's how they scored the 2 back in the first. Just aggressive running.
It's very different than what we're used to seeing with all the gorilla ball that everybody plays now.
Look, this is a big park, though, to get it out. But you're right. Normally you're seeing folks just bomb away. But at this level, trying to get these runs, and the late inning concerns, that one's just a good piece of hitting
Nice
there
hit.
as Ross is going to drive that one. And now, Nick, if you told you that's an RBI that does bring in another run for the Trojans, and that may do it for – that's going to do it for Henry, as we saw. What does it look like in the bullpen, Nick?
See, No,
they're holding up they're holding that up, so we'll get that when we come back. We're going to take a break and step away. When we come back, there is
That's Reed LaRue.
Reed LaRue will be coming in. It is a pitching change here at Don Boniel Field. Would have been a perfect opportunity for your business to have sponsored that.
That's
we'll
right.
be right back right after this on 446 Sports. And we are back, and it's just my fault for not remembering that we had it, but this is our Fostering Community pitching change. What does Fostering Community have going on right now? It's Crawfish for a Cause fundraiser benefiting the Fostering Community. That is Saturday, March the 8th, coming up in just a couple of weeks, and you've got to pre-order that crawfish to go out there and get that. 4 to 7 p.m. is when you'll be able to go out there. It's out at Huckleberry Brewing Company, sponsored by Louisiana Seafood, and it goes to one of the best organizations around. They're doing work for our foster care community. Make sure that you go out. I got to visit with their new marketing person last night at the event we were at, too. So it was great to sit down and visit with her. She was with Destiny, as a matter of fact, that was at that event that we were at. They also have Pickleball Palooza that's coming up. Need teams. Look, I'm telling you, go to Fostering Community. Check out what's going on with there. It just might be something that you're interested in, and that is our Fostering Community pitching change, and that brings in Reed LaRue.
Do we have a game that day on that Saturday, Doug?
We do, but it'll be over by then.
Okay, good.
So we'll be able to make it. Ordered my crawfish already, so I'm in the books on that one.
Okay.
Squaring around, and that's Ross just firing down. And look, I'm telling you, just speedy as he can be getting down there. It's pretty close throw. Good work behind the dish by Para. And Nate Oney stands in there. You've seen that out of Para back there.
Yeah, I mean, he got a great jump off of Reed. This is Reed's first appearance in a high school game, and once again, another freshman.
Oh, wow. How about that?
For this Menard Eagles team.
Excited that we could bring that to you on the real side of 446. That's over.
Right.
You do remember that you're going to be wearing a green hat.
Gosh, dog.
Multiple times this year.
Multiple
times
for the
this
record.
Year.
That's correct.
So
proud voice of Menard Eagles softball.
Understand, ladies and gentlemen back home, he is not making jabs at Menard. He's making jabs at me.
I'm making that's exactly.
And I'm taking it for the team.
Where they're at.
That's right.
No, I love me some Menard baseball and Jordan Marks and all of this crew. That one lifted high by Eckstein. A lot of room back there for Perrin. He's going to run out of it though. Somebody made a good catch over here.
Well, Doug, since you've already reserved your crawfish, I'm going to have to get Brett to get me a party pack. Put me down for one of those. Yep.
Got to go online there and do it, and you pay for it right
Okay.
there. And
All right.
Yeah, go to the Foster Community on Facebook.
Okay.
They're all
Yep.
there.
Fostering Community on Facebook, and they'll give you the directions. If you want to sign up with your pickleball team or whatever you want to do, you can find it there. And they have stuff, it seems like, every month going along. So we're big supporters of our friends at the Fostering Community. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down here. LaRue on trying to get out of this one. Good-looking pitch there.
One thing about him, he will fill up the strike zone. He's in the 70s, you know, his fastball's in the low 70s. But like I said, one thing about it, he'll put it over the plate.
And that's what. Look, you go back to the talk that we had earlier on those pitchers from Atlanta, Glavin and Maddox.
No, the Glavin.
And they would just. I mean, the pitching, whatever. Anyway,
Pitchability.
they didn't throw a lot of pitches.
Yeah, pitchability.
Efficiency. That's what I was looking for. Pitching efficiency. You'd see them 86, 87, 88 pitches in a game is all. And that's all you want from a pitcher is to throw strikes.
Well, they had a pretty good defense back in the day, too. We're behind those guys with Andrew Jones and Chipper Jones and that crew.
Well, they were just a little too late, though, for that's just off the left side. Good piece of hitting by Eckstein. Not the pull. Went away from the defense where it was, and that's an RBI that will sit in there. And that's just a good piece of pitching by LaRue. But you have a veteran that's up there that just goes with the pitch and drives it. So
yeah, I mean that once again, just like earlier, they had him. You know, they had the shift on, and he just beat the shift.
LaRue stands in, looks over at Eckstein at first. Will step off there. Grayson Thibodeau for the Trojans here as they lead at 5-1. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Eagles. And that gets Thibodeau for the 3rd time tonight.
So we can close,
I caught that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can close the book on Austin Henry. He went 3 and a 3rd. He gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned, 3 strikeouts, and he had 70 pitches total, 37 strikes.
We are 5 games into this season.
Did Danny send you that?
Yes, he did.
Okay, thank you, Danny Clear. Yes. No, I know where that came from.
Yeah.
It's a great team over there from Menard.
Well,
their crew's got it going on. That one hammered right back up the middle. Don't know if it'll score in. Eckstein coming around. He's going to be held at third. That bounces around. Now he's got just, and that hit the absolute worst spot. That's just bad luck.
Just
is
a
what
bad
that
break.
it was. Did it hit the? It hit the rubber. I think
hit
it
the
bounced
mound.
up.
Hit the mound. Yep.
Hit the second base side of the mound and went right over Parr's head.
Yep. We're 5 games in. I'm going to have a hard time believing that Thibodeau's not going to lead the team in hit by pitches.
And he doesn't crowd the plate. I mean, he's just there. I've said there are more people that get closer than he does.
Yeah, he takes it like a man, too. Knowing his dad, I expect that.
Miguel McGallion will stand in there. Runners at first and second. Good-looking curveball from LaRue.
Yeah, and the way Grayson plays football, I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less from him out here in that box.
Right.
Same with Clayton on the mound.
That one over there towards right to Shelton, and he's there under it in right field to retire the side, but not before the Trojans pick up 4 runs. After 4 complete, Alexandria leads at 6-1. We'll be back right after this.
Check out some of our recent work at the Panthers Stadium. In addition to custom signs and banners, we also handle custom trophies, custom awards, custom vehicle wraps, and more. Give us a call. We handle projects large and small.
Peyton Procell will stand in there, but before he does, KP's got a little news of his own there about something coming up.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the charity for the LV 5K. We've got a fishing trip. We got 3 of them that are being raffled off. You can go by the Little Cakes with Big Attitudes on Jackson Street, speak to Miss Bridget, and get some tickets there. Or you can get me in touch with me. I've got tickets to sell as well. It's 3 different trips by Mr. Tony Fuquay and his brother Kurt, and you can buy those for $5.
And that trip's coming up, or that drawing's coming up soon, huh?
Yep, April 19th when we have the race here at Ash.
There you go. So make sure you check that out, and you'll hear more about them. You'll hear more about the fostering community as we go along. Top of the 5th we play, and that looks like LaRue that's in there. Is that right?
Yeah, he just did a straight swap for Austin Henry, it looks like.
So you said it's the first time that he's pitched here this year. Is this the first time he's played and batted and hit?
I think so. I'm not sure, but I think so.
He came in and ran.
Yeah, he's been
early.
a courtesy
We saw
runner.
that. Yeah, he did that, but stands in there ready to go. And look, I'm telling you, gets right up on the line too. He's not concerned about anything other than getting in there and getting his. That one misses up and away.
Also played soccer for the Eagles soccer team that went to the second round of the playoffs and was all-district honorable mention as a freshman.
2-0 count from Doyle. Throws that one right down the pipe for the strike one. Nice to not be squeaky anymore. Still have a little bit of that nasty cough, but no more squeaking, so that's always good. 3 balls and a strike in this one. Nick, tomorrow noon, first pitch, is that what we said?
Yes, sir.
Noon and then 30 minutes after the first one. What's on the menu tomorrow? Have you got that update yet?
There's 3 different things that I've heard so far, but I don't want to call out the chef yet because
that's right, because he's listening to you.
Yeah, well, he was thinking about gumbo, and he's like, well, everybody's doing gumbo, so it's right now kind of in between a potato soup with some smoked ham inside it, and you know.
All right, who's making the trip down to get the burgers? That's what I want to know. Somebody's got to make the run for the burgers.
I've never eaten anything of his that wasn't good.
That's correct.
But they'll be definitely hamburgers and fries and nachos and Frito pies and everything else there as well.
Come out there for a little while, and Reed gets the leadoff walk here in the top of the 5th, and that's what you want as base runners. And you know, although it's his first time to hit and his first time to pitch, he's been a courtesy runner a lot of the season, knows his way around the bases.
Yeah, first time he courtesy ran, got picked off.
Looks like we got some action down here in the Ash bullpen. A couple pitchers up throwing.
I was going to my binoculars, but they're using they're resting the receiver, so I can't use those.
You
I don't
can't make
know.
that up.
Now let's see. There we go.
That is our
take a look down here.
That is our production team.
That's right.
Makes everything work.
2 right-handers. I see that. That's all I can make out of it. 16. And that's Winky, I believe. And 3 is Bayan. Is that what I have? Bayan and Winky are both getting loose.
KP, you talking about Mr. Bell? He's actually in the press box with us.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't see him back there. I was
snuck in when you wasn't looking.
Well, I mean, he's kind of got the same problem you and Gann have. There's a little vertically challenged, but yeah.
Oh, I thought it was that you talked too much around him, so he tried to stay out of the way.
Too. That could be it too.
Well, I know one thing. He has a state champion son that play goalkeeper.
Yep. Yeah, he does. Got a couple of good boys in the Bell family.
Down there on strikes, Doyle rings up another one.
Number 1, Reed
Scroggs back to the top of the order for this Menard Eagle team, and they're trying to put something together. It was a leadoff walk from LaRue, but Doyle settled down, got the next strikeout, and it'll be up to the top of the order here to try to get things a little closer. Doyle nods his agreement, throws that one down in the dirt, ball 1.
You can probably see this being Doyle's last time through the lineup, especially the top of it.
Got to believe with the pin going, you got a couple of different ones working out, and both have come in and closed out games for Coach Briggs. Snap throw down to first, but not in time. So not to bring that up, Nick, tell us that story about Reed and his first time he courtesy ran.
He was picked off. So, but hey, that's part of
Look,
it.
that's part of
He'll learn
baseball.
from it. So KP, I have a question.
Okay.
Doug and I have said we've never played baseball in this temperature. Have you ever umpired in this temperature?
Oh, several times.
Jeez.
Yeah, the warmest guy in the ballpark is behind the plate because he's got all the gear on.
Sure.
The coldest and stiffest is out in the field, trust me, because he's having to stand out there in that position for a while.
So he's dancing not because he's got to go to the bathroom.
That's correct. Yeah, he's trying to stay warm and loose.
Look, Doyle may not have another batter in him at all if he's ran 3-0 here. That one misses up high to Scroggs, and that'll put runners at first and second. And Coach Hunter looking out there, not sure what's going to happen. They're giving bullpen a little bit extra time to get loose, waiting on the signal, but it's going to bring the catcher up.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're fixing to get a change here.
Is it the call from the bullpen?
That's it. I got
That's the call from the bullpen?
Put me in, Coach. Put me in, Coach.
So I don't know if you guys noticed, but LSU's bullpen, now it's behind right field, and the announcers can't see it. Blair and Thompson, they couldn't see it, so they actually had the SEC network actually put a monitor in there for them.
I think we needed to get that here 446. Camera down there in right field.
Looks Doyle is going to come out there.
That's the backup national anthem singer.
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
When they came up here to make sure the national anthem was.
He didn't like that question, did he?
Yeah, he did not.
No.
16, Doug.
He said he was just making sure of it. Yeah, I see what you did there. That I've got to see the that I've got to have the binoculars just to see home plate. Let's get a look. I think I know who that is, but I don't want to.
We'll say this: announcers are grateful to the two coaches for having white jerseys with one dark number and a dark jersey with a white number on the back. We appreciate that, guys.
That's right. Andrew Winkie comes in to do this. He pitched 2 innings in relief the other night and was pretty solid in it. So Coach Briggs not afraid to go to that young man. This is a fostering community pitching change out here. Doyle still responsible for the runners at first and second that are on there. As you see, Winkie on there, go to Fostering Community on Facebook, and you can pick up your crawfish pack on there, the party pack on there. That's 10 pounds of crawfish, 4 potatoes, and 4 pieces of corn and some sausage. So you'll be able to check that out, and it goes to a tremendous, tremendous organization making a difference in Central Louisiana.
So, Doug, we had Chuck zoom into the 3 outfielders. They were doing jumping jacks. They were running in place.
Still doing something.
Yeah, trying to stay warm, stay loose. Might even have a little fake boxing going on. Yeah, we got a little fake boxing going on over there. Yeah. So
that's Crenshaw, that's McGallion, and that is Dean, and they're just getting an N1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2. Well, I'm telling you, you can't be fun at the old ballpark. Winkie is out there just throwing fastball, and the 3 outfielders are just being the 3 outfielders.
Yeah, that's the book on Winkie from Coach Hunter is he's got a low 70s fastball. He's a finesse pitcher, can be real effective when he stays out of the middle of the zone, and typically good control, throws 2 pitches for strikes.
Well, what we've seen is that good, sharp breaking curveball, and he'll throw it at any point in the count is what I've seen. Going to have to do it here. He wants to induce a little ground ball out of it. Eagles doing what they can to maybe just poke one down the line somewhere and get some runs going.
Tell me when you want Doyle stats.
Well, let's get it after the book is closed on him. He's still responsible for the runners at first and second.
That is correct.
So Doyle, though, 4 1/3, I guess is what he's got, and we'll get it high strikeouts. I would say 6 or 7 that he had, but we'll get all of those when the runners at first and second are spoken for.
Hopefully they stay right where they're at.
Winkie delivers this one, and there's that good curveball, but up there doing what he's supposed to is Para, who waits on it and just tries to drive it opposite field. They're playing Para around.
All right, that thing said 33. There's no way that was 33
That's the throw
miles.
back.
Oh, okay.
You missed the one in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2
right.
separate.
Well,
Sheesh.
So they do the throw back as well?
Well, it goes over the radar. I mean, it just happens. If you look, here's something, Nick, that we'll do
teach
too.
me.
That's really
Teach
cool.
me.
After the game, if you'll go down on the field and run,
Nope,
it'll
I'm good.
no,
It'll pick you up too.
It'll tell you that one lifted out into left field.
Gonna drop.
Yep, that's just nobody there. No man's land, and that loads them up for Procell.
Now, look, it's been a long time since I've been involved with, pitching and stuff. The radar gun used to just go one way, right, KP, years ago?
I believe so.
Thank you. I mean, that's why I'm sitting here thinking, I didn't imagine it would be reading it going back.
And I think it has to be more than 20 miles an hour to pick up anything, so I'm not
so
sure
much
it's
for
gonna,
you running
yeah.
down there, Nick.
No, he needs to go out and try.
No, we're good. We're good.
We can get you in the donated golf cart by Randy Wiggins State Farm, see if it'll pick that up.
This is Peyton Procell that stands in there, freshman first baseman with an opportunity for some production out of that 3 spot. There's
Bases
that
loaded and their best hitter at the plate.
63.
off-speed curveball there. Nothing a 1 and out. That's the best part of this game now that Nick, I think, is intrigued by the radar up there.
You know me with the mechanical side
Gadgets.
of the yes.
Nothing in 1. Delivery there, and that is going to be shortstop over to second base. We'll see if Oni can turn it, and he does. Inning-ending double play. Comes in, Winky does, and loads the bases up, I think, just to get that double play. 6-1, bottom of the 5th coming up for the Trojans, and that will close the book. We'll get the pitching stats on Dole when we come back.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier. Transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
There we go. Back to Don Boniel Field here, and Nick, I'm looking at Reed throw on his warm-up pitches, and I'm going to tell you the difference in what I see now versus what I saw last inning when he came in. He looks a lot more relaxed and comfortable when he's out there. It's like, okay, I'm in here now. Let's go to work.
Yeah, he's been there, and he also, had an at-bat and had a walk, so ran the bases a little bit. But on Dole for Alexandria, he had, like you said, a 4 1/3. He gave up 1 hit, 1 run. He had 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. He threw 78 pitches, 43 of them were strikes. He faced 19 batters.
There you go.
And unfortunately for the Eagles, those two base runners did not come around. That that were on his watch.
So as they say, the book now is closed. He is the pitcher of record in this one. Both starting pitchers are there.
Thank you, Danny Clear, for those stats.
Absolutely. Swung through that, did Crenshaw. We'll see if that staying limber out there in the outfield kept him loose and ready to go here. This is game 1 of the subdivision series. That's a base hit right up the middle of it. And Crenshaw now has a couple of base hits in this one tonight.
All you're praying for out there in the field is that this kid don't hit a triple and you got to chase him to third. In these conditions, it's hard doing that.
Yeah, and talking about Matthew Crenshaw, his dad was a great athlete here at Alexandria Senior High, great quarterback, also a great soccer player. Will Crenshaw, a lot of people know him as a doctor now.
Yep,
that's what I heard.
Was a great athlete.
It's going to do it for LaRue tonight. LaRue still is responsible, but I like the youngster getting in there and getting some quality pitches against a quality team. Nick, who does that bring in?
This should be Smith, if I'm not mistaken, Baylor Smith.
If it is, it's 31.
Now, this is going to surprise you, Doug.
Okay.
I can verify
No,
this.
he's from Winfield. I see this coming.
Brad and Sharanda Smith are his parents.
Okay.
They're from Winfield. That's a fact.
I don't know how the population in Winfield wasn't 80,000. It doesn't make sense to me. Everybody is from Winfield.
I will be happy to verify
And I
all
love
of this
Winfield.
for you.
Don't get.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything against it. I'm just saying. Goodness gracious, fostering community.
Baylor was
pitching change. Put up our Brett. Let's have our graphic during this pitching change on there.
Baylor
That
was
tells
actually
you.
here at Ash and then transferred over to Menard this year.
Crawfish for a Cause fundraiser brought to you by our friends at Fostering Community, benefiting the fostering community. Crawfish can be picked up Saturday out at Huckleberry Brewery, March the 8th from 4 to 7 p.m. But you have to get your orders in ahead of time. Go online, get your tickets for your party pack, which is 10 pounds of crawfish. Goodness gracious, corn and potatoes and sausage, and a good time, all to benefit fostering community. This has been a fostering community pitching change.
Yeah, Baylor's he's one of the juniors, basketball player as well. This is his first year playing baseball. Brad was telling me, his dad was telling me preseason that he hadn't played in a couple of years, and just decided to come out, and they really need some depth on this mound for the Eagles team this year.
And look, the only way you can get it is to go out and get it.
Right.
That's it.
And you know, him and Procell and Birch and then LaRue, all these guys between soccer and baseball, they just got through playing that winter sport. So, which I guess baseball now is a winter sport. What y'all are telling me.
Oh my gosh, what?
It is tonight. I can tell
I'm
you that.
surprised you didn't have shorts on.
Well,
I mean,
I tell you what, I wish I would have worn them being up here. It's very warm up here. But
I tell you, it's chilly.
This reminds me of the football press box after running up and down the bleachers doing that halftime.
I know, right?
That halftime report that you laugh at me so much about. So.
Oh, you haven't went down and done the mid-inning.
No, I thought that might have been why you had me here. So
we discussed that in the last game about going down there, and we just weren't sure how much we were going to get out of Coach Briggs in the middle of a game.
Or what we would have got out of Coach Briggs in the middle of the game.
Right.
Braden Rashell has a couple RBI on the night as well. That last inning had a pretty big one. That one bounced up there. And that did Tim again. Baylor Smith,
Yes.
31 is there.
thing I've noticed about this Trojan Ball Club from last week, watching the 2 games, I'm sorry I didn't get to watch the third, and tonight, they take advantage of the opportunities they have.
Look, that comes directly from their skipper. He is just hard-nosed and has been that way his entire career. He played that way, coaches that way, and will just that's just straight from that group there and head coach Greg Briggs.
Baylor comes from a very athletic family. His father played basketball, was all-state.
From Winfield?
From Winfield, correct.
Of course.
Played basketball and baseball in Winfield.
Ball and a strike here. That one right down the heart of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. How fast was that one, Nick?
66.
There you go.
And then first base coach for Alexandria. He played ball here with, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Brown. And not Chris Brown. Chris Brown's a football player.
I'm just wondering where you're going with
yes,
that.
Yes. I watched him on this field when it was grass and dirt. Trying to remember, he went on to be
Chris Smith.
No, he went on to be a second baseman at LSU. Won a national championship. His dad just passed away a couple weeks ago. Was McGee, Chris McGee. Thank you. And so Brown was a great little baseball player back then. That was the years that Marlene's cousin Landon was here and played ball, and that was a good team to watch. I had to be a Nash Trojan fan before this a couple of times in my life, and it was not very easy, but I do enjoy it now.
Sounds like you did a good job of it.
Look, you are, you got a special place there, Nick. That one over by Scroggs, and I think that was shielded by the field umpire, but Crenshaw is going to come around and hustling in for a double. There is a great piece of hitting by Rashell, and that's 3 RBI on the night. What is your? Oh, you don't have your.
I think the movement of the umpire and Crenshaw there, but that ball was hit well. I would give it a hit. I wouldn't give it an error.
Oh no, that's I believe that's a base hit. 7-1 in this one, and I'm looking around asking you for things,
and I
have the game changer here. So yeah, Rashell 2 hits on the night. 2 RBI and a walk was his other one. So he's been on base every time. He and Doyle doing a lot of work tonight for the Trojans. Eckstein has a couple of hits and an RBI, but the big night has been from the bat of Braden Rachel.
Okay, you want my Chuck and Brett moment of the night?
I do.
The Game Changer app is a game changer.
That's pretty good.
I mean, have I been hanging around them enough?
That's pretty good.
Can I get a fist bump, guys? Come on, man.
Not from
Come
me.
on, man.
Not from me. You can't at all. Yes, they have fist bumps down with the burgers. Ball and a strike here.
And they have corn dogs down there, too, as well.
They do.
Yes.
Just let me take your headset while you can get
And no. This has been a night, let's just say. Jacob Dean, the center fielder for the Trojans, stands in there. Dean is 1 for 1 on the night. He's got an RBI. So 3 RBIs out of the 8 and 9 hole for this Trojan team. 6 of the 7 runs have been earned in this one. Rachel with 2 doubles on the night, and that's been the difference in this.
You said 6 of the 7 runs tonight have been earned?
Yep.
Okay.
According to the official game changer.
Game changer.
The home book
I would say,
has it
I would
scored
say
that
the
way.
home book is very...
Zips that throw. What a throw down there. Going to be in time, too. Good work there by Para. And, that was just work.
Yeah, that's he has a great arm. I think the 2 that were stolen off of him earlier were pretty much probably off of the pitcher, but
those jumps were pretty good by both those young men.
Yeah, Hesney caught stealing there, but you remember the aggressiveness of Hesney is the one that came around and scored early in the game on that hustle play when he was called safe here at first. When he was safe, not called safe, he was safe at first. Yeah, that's right.
Oh boy.
Well, that's what you hate to see is a caught stealing there, but I like the aggressiveness of this team, and you can't pick and choose when you're going to be aggressive. You're going to do it or you're not going to do it.
Right.
They are moving the outfield over, expecting Jackson Ross to pull the baseball.
But the key is, guys, if you're going to move them over, doesn't that mean you're supposed to pitch inside? I mean, am I correct?
You want him to pull it there, yeah. You're not wanting to set up outer half.
Right.
And the first pitch is on the outside part of the plate.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you, so that's happened to them tonight
Twice.
a couple of times that they've pitched away from the shift.
Well, I don't know if they've pitched away from the shift.
But it's went away.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where the pitch was thrown.
That's
no,
correct.
but your catcher's setting up outer half here.
So
I don't know if that was a.
Of course, they have a lot more information than I do sitting up here, but
no, you've got that little laminated sheet, so that's good stuff.
Laminated sheet's my roster.
Oh well, then I
didn't know if he was calling the game or offensive coordinator or what.
That's right. That one drifts inside, and that's where you wanted to pitch it. That one high and out to center field, coming up and making a play.
We got a little base running error there at first base.
Yeah, a snafu,
Yep.
if you will, and that double play is going to retire the side, and Coach Daigle there is going to let him know about it. We'll be back after 5 complete. We'll go to the top of the 6th. Trojans leading this one. Game 1 of the subdivision series, 7-1. Top of the 6th next when we come back.
Central Louisiana. This is your home for live sports action. From the field to the court, 446 Sports delivers the games you love with expert commentary and passionate coverage. Cheer for your favorite athletes and relive the moments that define our community spirit. Our sponsors keep us in the game. Together, we bring you the best in local sports coverage. Join the 446 Sports family today. Watch, cheer, celebrate. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. .446 Sports, where Central Louisiana comes to play.
James Tishner set to lead things off against Winky here in the top half of the 6th. Tishner 0 for 2 on the evening. Just a couple of hits scattered. Para has a hit, Purcell has a hit, and the RBI in this one. But it's been a lot of goose eggs from this pitching staff. But I'm going to tell you, there's not a tense moment in that Trojan dugout. They've had the lead, I think, in all of their games that they've played this season. Winky will drop back and ready to deliver here. Now he steps off and says, hey, let's rethink this. Winky now will rock back and deliver this one.
I would imagine Coach Hunter wants to get through the rest of this game with just Winky so he can save some of his bullpen for the doubleheader tomorrow.
There's no doubt. You expect that you're going to get a lot of innings out of Lee tomorrow.
You would think.
And last time Oni threw, he threw, I think, 5 innings.
Correct.
So, but yes, you're right. You never know when you have to go committee and you have to use as many people as you can. That one changing up gets up to 70 in there. And we say up to 70 because I think that's about where he sits, is in the low 70s.
That's what the scout report says.
Oddly enough, Winky, the relief pitcher, comes in the windup, and a lot of the starting pitchers started in the stretch. So just one of those oddities that I've had. Ortiz scored the game's only run for Menard, that off of the bat of Peyton Procell. So trying to get something going here is Tishner. Tishner, Brevell, and Shelton due up for Menard here, top 6. Winky throws that one fouled off into leaving things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Look, I'm sitting here looking at all of this other stuff and got the game changer right. And yeah, attaboy, Doug. Only been doing this how long?
It says Ortiz scored?
Yeah, that's what it says here.
Because he's been DH for all 9.
Oh, well, then it's the DH that's got it. That explains that, and that'll fit him in. Well,
and that's your home team.
That's the home book.
Well,
yeah, which
right.
is why
Wow.
there's 6 of the 7 runs are earned.
At least 5 of them are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe 5.5.
yeah. Okay.
Oh,
That was in the gap, and we'll get to the wall. Good piece of hitting by Tishner. The book has that a double, Nick, so there you go.
I will tell you, there must be something in right field because Crenshaw's a great athlete, and I would have thought that he would have been able to get to that one. I don't know. It might be this light pole that's to the left, but looked like he didn't quite see that one off the bat, and I know he's a great athlete.
Well, and you see it's dark out there in the outfield.
Yeah. I'm really surprised he didn't track that one down, but that was a great hit by James.
Tishner now 1 for 3 on the night with that double, and that will bring in Aaron Brevell. Brevell with an opportunity, and that's all you want, and that's the fear you can see. Usually in a game that's 7-1 late innings, you're a little more comfortable than that coaching staff for Alexandria is. They're all out of the dugout and all looking at things. Good-looking curveball there. Infield, outfield playing straight away on Brevell. He comes set now, takes a look back, but nobody there in the middle of the infield for nothing doing. Swung on and fouled off. 0-2 quickly. Good work by Brevell to hustle all the way through that one.
yeah. At this point, you're just trying to get outs and give up a run. No big deal.
Yeah, you'll trade out for it. You start counting outs. A lot of big day of baseball tomorrow across the subdivision, and that's where the subdivision series. And remember, fortunately, if you keep saying it enough, it's bound to stick on there. These 2 teams separated just by that Charles Park and a couple of different subdivisions right through there. One side, go up and down Versailles, and you'll get to both of them eventually. 0-2 to Brevell. Winky looks back, checks things. Now they do flash a little bit from Oni at second base. That one away. First pitch at noon. They'll go on the air. We've got them slated to go on the air at 11:15 tomorrow. So,
no, you don't.
I said 11:50. My bad, 11:50.
Confuse the fives there.
That's right. No, you don't, he says.
I expect that from this game changer here. This home side game changer.
Wow. It's Nick at 446sports.com. Swung on and missed. And down on strikes goes Gravel.
I'll give you the real email address if you want.
Wise man told me a couple of innings ago, remember, you're going to be wearing that
That's right.
that uniform at one
That's
point
right.
again. So
That's right. See where Coach Bachman's still here. So
That's right. So you're safe. One down, top of the sixth.
He's going to have to put on that jacket and that hat to get back to that truck, though.
he's got the hood on right now.
Yeah. Looking back, this time it's Ross flashing in a little bit.
First time I've ever seen him eat anything other than lemon butter chicken, Doug.
It's only because they didn't cook it down there.
Yeah, and they might cook it for him. I don't know.
Right. Look, and that's just changed the last couple of years because it was the Uncle B's chicken tenders prior to that. Nope.
Uncle B's. Yep.
Over at Walk-Ons, where we are each and every Thursday night during football season for the Thomas Bachman Show. Brought to you by Sadler's Towing. Proud sponsors of our what, Nick?
Nick's that
what are we talking about?
Sadler's Towing Scrolling.
Yeah, Sadler's Scrolling.
Sadler's Towing Scrolling Scoreboard.
And they're at their new location, Doug, off of McKithen.
That's right.
Noticed that the other day. Congratulations to Janelle and her husband on that.
Yeah, they are just a great family.
Who's that runner at second, Nick?
That's Tishner, James Tishner.
Yeah, that's still James.
Sophomore, junior, what?
Sophomore.
Sophomore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good sophomore class. You see Shelton part of that. Ortiz is there. Tishner and Scroggs. That sophomore class is pretty solid. That one fouled back.
JD here as well, number 19, is a sophomore.
Yep, JD Shelton. No relation.
To the basketball Shelton.
Basketball and softball Shelton.
Yeah.
That's right.
But another Winfield guy. That's right.
Of course.
Yep. Menard's like Winfield Central.
I tell you.
But the two plays are not from Winfield.
One ball, one strike, one down here in top of the sixth. One thing about Awenke is that he will slow the game down and pitch at his pace.
Is that why my stomach's growling a little more now?
Maybe. Because at your normal perch, they would have already brought you food up here.
JD said it's a little too cold to be taking that pitch tonight.
Yeah, Coach or Officer Causey, he usually brings it the third inning and is on the mic with us for an inning. Resource officer there. And, of course, I usually wait till after to eat.
Saw him with a nice sweatshirt, too.
Yep.
Looking good. That one, been there the entire night.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen a pitch there in a while, but certainly called there by Home Plate Blue.
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down, top of the sixth. Trojans lead this one 7-1. 2 in the second, 4 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. 1 run in the third for Menard. That curveball doesn't quite get there, and I think that crossed Rachel up a little bit.
It's a very nice press box, Doug.
Thank you.
I like this.
Yeah. Ice chests are their specialty here. You see, they got a lot of those in the corner.
Just a little hint for the fall
for football. You know, you could almost see the football field from here.
You can. I've been looking over there a lot.
So this isn't a bad place. You know, last week when we were here, last weekend, that one shot over to first base. Lee's got it, attempt to double up, and he chunks it into left field. I think Ross just wasn't there quick enough, but good work by McGallion out in left field to get that. So we talk, you know, during football season, the baseball lights are always on when there's a game going on. And so the football lights weren't on. And I said, well, you gotta return. And now they're on. I don't think anybody listened or heard that part of it, but, you know, now they're on. This is number 3. That is Lane Evans. I think it's the first time we've seen Evans. He's a junior for the Eagles. Nick, tell me a little bit about him.
Lane Evans is he's a football player, offensive lineman who had the rare knee injury or a different knee injury earlier in the fall and was able to rehab. And this is his third game to play.
Good to see that young man back in the lineup. Then
he's built like an offensive lineman for sure.
Yeah.
Right,
got some size here, though. You know,
he had a bunt for a hit the other night and scored a run against North DeSoto.
Well, that was a battle that you guys had the other night.
It was
with the Griffins. That one right up the middle, past the diving Jackson Ross. Dean's going to come up firing. Got a chance, just offline though. I think the throw might have had him, but that's good hustling by James Tishner to come around there and get that one. And Coach Marks getting things wound up, trying to get it going here.
Yeah, good work there by Lane, taking that one back up the middle and scoring Tishner. And we'll take this momentum. I will say this, Doug, about the Eagles tonight. They are putting the ball in play, which is something that's good to see.
Yeah.
This is 23, and I don't see him on mine.
It should be a number that he marked out. Look on your – should be on the bottom
31
there.
and 25 and 5. I don't see a 23. That's technical.
I think this is Birch, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody at home will
Let me
should
see.
be
We'll
corrected.
get it pulled up on the home game stream. That's it.
Looks like it's going to be Winky for the rest of the game. There's no activity in the bullpen at all.
Yeah, they definitely want to see Winky. It's his to get going, or they'll bring somebody in that's already loosened up. But I don't think they'll go back down to the pen. It's the fifth hit of the night for the Eagles. That one fouled over there, and come on, Coach. Got to have that. He's warm, though. He's bundled up.
That's the thing as well. This cold temperatures and stuff. I mean, you have to worry. You have to make sure that these guys stay limber and move around because there is a lot of dead time in baseball. And last thing you want is for one of them to get tight and pull a muscle.
Well, you see, and I just because I haven't looked, so I don't know what Menard does, but you'll see about every 2 innings that the reserves, that's a pass ball, and will get I think he was a little undecided, was Lane.
Well, I'm wondering if one of the infielders.
You think he got deked a little bit?
Yeah, I think one of the infielders may have said something. Maybe the one that's covering his mouth right now. I don't know. Could be wrong. But,
that's right. But you'll see about every couple of innings, the Trojan reserves will run down to the 297 sign and back through the bullpen, just trying to stay loosened up and keep those legs going.
I think I'm working on it, Doug, but I think this is Aiden Birch, and I think he had a number change, if I'm not mistaken, because right before the game, I think there was.
Last weekend, we had a St. Fred's coach tell us that he had to do that because the kid forgot his jersey.
That one lifted high into left field, off and running with it, but McGallion pulls that one down. Routine fly ball ends things, but not before the Eagles pick up a run in the top of the 6th. They have one in the 3rd, one in the 6th. They trail at 7-2. Trojans due up bottom of the 6th when we come back.
For cataract surgery in Central Louisiana, insist on Wallace Eye Associates, where leading eye surgeon Dr. Thomas Stuckey and our team of doctors continue to set the standard in cataract care in Louisiana. If you're over age 60 and just aren't seeing as well as you used to, let our cataract team restore your vision and renew your life. When it's time for cataract surgery, there's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
Fostering community pitching change here. Taking over in the bottom of the 6th is number 24, Gage Wright. Gage Wright. Nick, Tell us about him.
He's a junior. I think this might be his might be the first game he's pitched. My statistician's, back home right now, so maybe if he's still listening, maybe I could get some information from him. But I'll try right here to see. But I don't think he has any stats up to this point.
Perry's got a lot of pep in his step on throwing that. After throwing the runner out the last time around, he's zipping that ball in there. Marks and Briggs still having a little conversation there. Two good friends and worthy adversaries on the field, but certainly a lot of respect, a lot of mutual respect there for each other.
A couple of excellent coaches right there.
Indeed.
And they could have been discussing, changing the game time for tomorrow. Maybe not. You just with baseball, it's so fluid. You can do that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's correct.
Nate Oney will lead things off for the Trojans in the bottom of the sixth inning. Ground ball over there is going to be handled and back over there by Procell. So in the cool play of the game, though, there was another first baseman the other night, the Tassan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Just hadn't played tonight is
That's
all?
correct.
Okay. KK Eckstein, third baseman for the Trojans, stands in against Wright.
That's a big kid on the mound.
It is. That one bounces back to the brick backstop. And Thibodeau will come get that one. Does a little bit of everything.
Gage is a junior. Yeah, Gage has only had a little bit of scrimmage work.
Eckstein hammers that down the line. Is it going to stay fair? It does. Bangs off of the wall and twists around into the bullpen. Eckstein hustling into second base for a stand-up double.
That's a great hit there. Of course, umpire was pointing fair before the ball even hit the ground.
Pulled it about as much as you can pull one there. And they'll go back and take off all of the gear and such. And Grayson Thibodeau stands in, ready to be hit.
Ready to be hit by a pitch.
That's right.
Yeah.
3 times tonight.
So as you could see there, Doug, when that ball goes down the line, that first base umpire has to stay where he's at. The plate umpire has to get all the way to second base to make that call.
Goodness gracious.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I didn't follow that little intricacy. There's a ground ball to Scroggs. He's going to fire all the way across. That's going to send Eckstein hustling down near double play, but safe at third.
Good hustle by KK.
Yeah, absolutely it was. And just you look the runner back, and, he's going to go, and that's just some teams wouldn't have sent the runner after getting looked back, especially with a lead, but continuing to stay on it. Jack Lee. 1 for 3 on the night. He's got an RBI. Struck out a couple of times. Expect to see him on the hill tomorrow in, if I had to guess, I'd say game 3. Game 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't get the specifics. I just got the call from Coach Hunter that they would both Lee and Oney be pitching tomorrow.
Basing that off of the way it went last Saturday, when they had the doubleheader, and Oney went first and Lee went second in that one. But Ash trying to hang on and get back to 500 on the season. They're 2-3 currently after dropping a couple of games that they had the lead in late.
Yeah, they've been in every game so far this year that they've had a chance to win each one.
That one just stayed back on by Lee, and that's his second hit of the night and another RBI.
A great piece of hitting there. Speaking of last week's series against St. Fred's, shortstop.
Will Patrick.
We're all LSU fans.
Will Patrick, yes.
Real deal?
Without a doubt. He runs the bases well. He controls the game. He hammers the baseball, and he has great lateral movement at shortstop. And if that's the kind of stuff you like, then yeah. But he's the absolute real deal.
Well, I know his stats. He runs the fastest 60 in high school baseball, not just for the state and the nation, according to one of the stats that I looked at. And they said he's not a little fellow.
No, he's not. He's got good size to him, throws the ball well, covers it well. And made one error over the weekend, but made up for it in everything else. You better not nap on him running from first to third. You better come up and make the play in front of him.
Yeah, and some of the things that didn't show up in the stat book or in the book was
that one lifted out to right field. It's going to drop for a base hit, and look at flying over to third base. Wow.
He kept some balls in the infield that should have been base hits or should have been overthrows from the catcher to outfield, and they stayed here because of his athleticism.
Doug, that's a courtesy runner in for
Lee.
For Lee.
Yeah, I'm not sure the number on him. Let me see if I can go in here and pick that up. Well, here you go. KJ Ray. How about that?
Okay.
So does that surprise
That's
you
what
now?
I'm talking about.
He looks like a wide receiver.
You see the way that young man runs. That makes a lot of sense.
Now you're like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Yep.
Crenshaw stands in, ready to go to work again. Crenshaw's had a pretty good night himself.
Yeah, and Gage, right, this is his first work of the season. He had some scrimmage work before the season started, this pitcher for the Eagles.
Crenshaw 1 for 2, 2 runs scored and a walk. So getting on at the bottom of the lineup has proved to be to pay off for him. Eckstein 3 for 3 on the night. Rachel 2 for 2. He's on deck, but 2 outs. We'll see. The Trojans hitting the ball pretty well here. That one right up the middle, deflected by Gage, and I think that's more trouble. But tremendous work by Scroggs once again, proving why he is the everyday shortstop for this Eagles team. Bottom of the 6th, Trojans pick up a run. They lead at 8-2. They'll try to close it out with Winky on the hill. Top of the 7th when we come back.
We've all seen how quickly things can change. Everything from the world around us to the cost of things we use on a daily basis. That's why we all need someone in our corner to keep our family protected while still watching out for our pocketbook. I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. There's no better time than now to complete an insurance review to make sure you're properly covered and not paying too much. Whether it's in our office, at your home, or your place of business, let us help you find peace of mind. If you're in need of your insurance checkup, whether auto, home, or life, talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Cutter Knowles will lead things off in the top of the 7th. That is the final opportunity here for Coach Jordan Marks and his Eagles in this one. But that's what makes baseball the greatest sport there is. All you need is a chip and a chair. You need an at-bat and an out, and we'll see if Winky and the Trojans are able to close this one out. Delivers this one. Knowles pulls that one. Knowles, we heard that name a bunch during football. Tell us, I mean, he had great work by that young man in football.
Yeah, and obviously I didn't get to watch as much since I was over here, but I think he's a starting DB for him and did a really good job. He's definitely athletic. He can cover some ground in center field.
Just seems like I always remember him in the player of the game talk, or hearing the voice of the football Eagles at that time, Tom Boucher, getting pretty animated about Cutter Knowles. Toes up on the line. I mean, and they're working him away, too. Goodness, this is just a good piece of it. It's a chess match every time you're out there.
I know he's a football player, but Cutter Knowles is a heck of a baseball name.
Yes,
it is. Yeah. He ought to be able to pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Knowles. Winky rolling back, delivers this one. They'll check him, said he did not go.
Yeah. Talk about being on the line of the batter's box. He's right on top of it.
Now, at what point you just can't have toes over the line?
Correct. You can, if any part of your foot is inside that box, you're good.
Okay.
So you can have them over the line as long as part of your foot's in the box.
Yeah, and I mean, it's much easier to be defined.
That ground ball over to Ross. He's got to come up because Cutter flies, not going to be in time. Oh, he gets him over there at first base.
Oh, my gosh.
My goodness. Jackson Ross coming up, showing off that arm. Good stretch by Lee over there at first base. And
maybe if he would have slid.
I think we're going to have an ejection over here at first base.
Yeah.
By the runner, by Knowles?
Yeah, I think he said something he probably shouldn't have said.
I do know
he's throwing the hands up, questioning and getting high fives. So that'll be the end of the night for that young man.
I know the umpire did point to the dugout. So
yeah, and the rule is now you can restrict him to where he can't come back out and play. He's not affected tomorrow,
and that keeps him from sitting out a game. Yeah,
correct, and watching any type of sport.
Right, having to go to anger management.
That's right.
Right.
Well, we did learn tonight that umpires are here to call outs. We did learn that earlier.
Right.
We did learn that earlier.
That's right.
I just wish the role would have been reversed whenever we had the run that scored earlier.
Well, I mean, you heard it straight from Coach Bachman. I mean, he told you. They said that's just he agreed with the umpire.
Yeah, and like I said, I always defend coaches, and Coach Bachman also said that there was a few times that you also have to talk and chirp a little bit.
He calls it working
the officials.
Yeah, it saves any type of disciplinary action with a video or anything like that. You're restricted to the dugout.
That one up the middle to Dean. He's going to let it drop in front of him and play that one on the one hop and get it back inside pretty quick.
So if he did get ejected, if he got sent to the principal's office, as you want to call it there, KP, does that mean he's not eligible to play tomorrow?
No, if he's restricted to the dugout, he's fine for tomorrow.
Okay.
If he had been ejected, you'd have seen the home plate umpire write that on his card.
They had to write it down and all that.
And then they would have gone, when they got done, they do a report. It's submitted to the assignment secretary. And then before that young man plays, he has to watch a video from the LHSAA.
Of course, it is cold out there, and there's a face covering that's probably pretty tight on the face there.
Yeah.
So we're thinking there's a ground ball over to third to Eckstein. He's going to come up, take the play at first base, and has it. Great work by Ross to come over and cover third to prevent any further advancement. So you don't think he said, darn, are you sure?
No.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I do have a clarification on that. Number 23, who was the pinch hitter earlier, was Carson Albanian. I had it wrong. It was not Birch. It was an Albanian.
And we've got him down at number 22 on here, so that's the only thing. Carson Albanian gets that.
He was number 23 tonight, so try to get all that clarified for the doubleheader tomorrow.
Procell stands in for what represents the final opportunity for the Eagles. They trail this one 8-2. Ross flashing a little bit. That one just a little duck snort over the first base.
Duck snort.
Yes.
Look,
he used that last weekend, and I Googled that, didn't find it anywhere.
That's a term. No, if you Googled it, you'd have found it. That is a legitimate term. It's over there by Texas Leaguer and Baltimore Chops. Looking the same thing. See also, it says. Nothing in 1, 2 down. You guys will learn I had to teach Chuck station to station last year, but he's got that now, and we've got it figured out.
I thought it was just a Menard thing with all the crosses they had to go to.
I'm glad he's not on the mic tonight. Off and running there, but not concerned about it. That hit and run is on. Heck of a jump over there by Scroggs. He's got a lot of speed on him, and he's not just fast, Nick. He's quick.
Yeah, good athlete over there. And like I said, he played a lot of second base last year when Cohen was pitching, and Trey Curley was out earlier in the season, who was the backup second baseman. So also filled in for Hilton a little bit.
Multiple hits tonight from Eckstein, from Lee, from McGallion, and from Rachel. A couple of doubles for Braden. That one outside. And down to third will be Scroggs. And they're not, again, Trojans aren't concerned about that one at all. They're just trying to get the out here at the plate. Procell trying to keep things alive and give themselves another opportunity with Tishner, who has hit the ball well tonight. That one out to second base, only over his head. And that's all you want to do is just hit it where it's pitched and extend the inning. And that will bring up James Tishner, who has been solid for the Eagles, not only all year, but certainly tonight.
Oni covers some ground. How you pronounce his name?
Oni, O-N-E-Y.
He covers some ground. I didn't think he was going to be that close to that one. And then we talked about the play he made earlier in the foul territory.
Yep.
So.
I've been impressed tonight with Procell, the way he's put the bat on the ball, and he just done what he needed to try to get on base.
You'll see Oni, I expect, in game 1 tomorrow in that one if it follows what we've seen. Now, that means it will probably not be him in the first game, but I got to believe they'll move Doyle over to second base and Oni will come into the mound. Everything else should stay basically the same unless you use Lee as a DH and send Thibodeau out to first base. That may be a couple of the changes that Coach Briggs makes in that first game. That one fouled back.
Yeah, you would think that Rachel wouldn't catch both games tomorrow.
No, you would not expect that. The problem Briggs has had, he said, is just finding that backup catcher.
Yeah.
Rachel is just does not want to get off the field.
It's
We did see Doyle. Did Doyle catch a game last weekend, or was that Thibodeau that came in? and caught it?
Thibodeau.
Yeah,
Thibodeau
came
caught
in and
it.
caught game 2 in
He
that
did.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did a good
the-
job back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely have some depth on this Trojan team.
Nothing in 2 from Winky. The delivery swung on and missed. Got to tag him up, and that'll do it there as he is out. He gives himself up. Does it. That will do it tonight. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Eagles. 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Trojans. They'll do it all again tomorrow, and they'll do it twice on there. You can watch them on 446 Sports. They'll step up and let the A-team call that one tomorrow, and
we'll be watching on
no
Game Changer.
handshakes in this one.
Yeah, I noticed the catcher from Ash told him to just go to the outfield, so I don't know. That's very
Interesting. We'll
Yeah.
ask about that, and maybe it's just too cold. Let us talk and let us get out of here. We're going to do the same. It's been a lot of fun. The Trojans win this one, and it's going to take about 10 more minutes to thank all the people that were in here working with us tonight. But on the production side of it, of course, Chuck Perkins and Brett Stallsby here with us. Nick Magnano, thank you for joining us up in the booth there and ascending the perch there.
Thanks for having
like
me.
you
It was
did.
a lot of fun.
KP Miles, I am Doug Gann. God bless you all, and good night.